Chapter 2867. That purple figure was like an ancient great emperor that had been revived. That vast emperor's aura was too terrifying, as if it could suppress everything. However, in the face of such a figure, Ling Xiao still chose to take the initiative to attack. He had to make a move. Otherwise, when that figure completely erupted, the peerless emperor's aura would erupt. At that time, it would probably be able to kill more than half of the experts under Ling Xiao's command. Therefore, no matter what the origin of that purple figure was, Ling Xiao still chose to make a move. Rumble! The epic fist erupted. It contained Ling Xiao's Tao, as well as the great spirit of the epic reincarnation. This fist seemed to have a life of its own. It bloomed with the most dazzling light, illuminating Ling Xiao's eyes. Boom! The purple figure was incomparably indifferent. It only slapped down a palm that contained unfathomable power and destructive aura. In an instant, it seemed as if the world had been turned upside down, colliding with Ling Xiao's epic fist. A terrifying divine light erupted in the void, causing the surrounding sky to tremble violently. Ling Xiao's body trembled as if he had collided with an indestructible immemorial divine mountain. He was directly sent flying. Ling Xiao suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. His aura instantly weakened. His face was incomparably pale. His internal organs had suffered unimaginable damage, as if they were about to collapse at any time. If it weren't for Ling Xiao's incomparably sturdy body that contained immortal matter, he was afraid that his entire body would have fallen apart under this blow. Ling Xiao, go to hell! Hua Tianchong's eyes were filled with incomparable resentment. His entire body exuded a blazing purple light, and he actually merged with the purple figure. The surging killing intent once again locked onto Ling Xiao. With such a terrifying power, Hua Tianchong became incomparably intoxicated, even though he knew that he had to pay a great price and couldn't maintain it for too long. At this moment, Hua Tianchong seemed to have become an ancient great emperor that swept across the heavens and thousands of races. His words were the law of the world, and he was invincible. He hated Ling Xiao to the extreme, and there was only one thought in his mind. And that was to kill Ling Xiao. You've been weakened by my attack. It seems like this is just a one-time eruption, unlike the true body of Emperor Tiandu in the Great 12 Heavenly Divine Wraith Formation, which can be strengthened by the power of the formation. Ling Xiao wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his eyes bright. Although he was severely injured from this attack, he had also managed to probe out some things. That purple figure looked more like a trace of power left behind by the great emperor. It could only be activated by the bloodline in Hua Tianchong's body. Once the power was unleashed, although it was unparalleled, it was quickly consumed. It's not the real body of Emperor Tiandu. Could it be the mark left by the ancient emperor? But why did Hua Tianchong say that it was the descent of the Chinese ancestors? Ling Xiao thought to himself. His mind spun rapidly as he tried to guess the origin of the purple figure. Rumble! At this moment, Hua Tianchong and the purple figure had merged into one. Blazing divine light rose from his body, and he unleashed the most terrifying power as he charged towards Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's body gushed out a vast amount of life origin, and the injuries in his body healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. He held the heavenly punishment saber in his hand, and at the same time, activated the prison steel and time compass, and charged towards Ling Xiao. The three Supreme Emperor weapons unleashed a vast amount of Supreme Emperor aura, and they intertwined with each other, containing an incomparably terrifying energy fluctuation. Boom! 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 Every time Ling Xiao and Hua Tianchong collided, it was like the end of the world. Terrifying divine light fluctuations erupted, and it was as if the sun had exploded, the galaxy had turned upside down, and heaven and earth had collapsed. All kinds of mysterious scenes appeared. Everyone felt goosebumps all over their bodies, and their eyes were filled with incomparable horror. The mark of the great emperor that Hua Tianchong has merged with doesn't seem to belong to Emperor Tiandu. Whose mark is it? Someone exclaimed. He had seen some clues, and his eyes were filled with incomparable shock. The Hua clan was a supreme sovereign clan, and they were dazzling. However, their ancestor was only Emperor Tiandu, and there was no second great emperor. However, the mark of the great emperor that Hua Tianchong had activated with his bloodline was different from the aura of Emperor Tiandu. Many people had noticed it. It seems like there are still many secrets in the Hua clan that we don't know. However, it seems that even if Hua Tianchong has merged with the mark of the great emperor, he's just putting up a desperate struggle. Ling Zhao's strength is too terrifying. It's only a matter of time before Hua Tianchong is defeated. Someone said slowly. At this point, no one thought that Ling Zhao would be defeated by the Hua clan. This chosen one had bloomed with peerless brilliance, and had created one miracle after another. From today onwards, would the Hua clan and the 3 immortal sacred grounds be completely erased like the 9-layered imperial obelisk? Rumble. Above the void, Ling Zhao and Hua Tianchong were fighting fiercely. Although Hua Tianchong had merged with the mark of the great emperor, and his strength was monstrous, he had been suppressing Ling Zhao in the beginning. He had even beaten Ling Zhao into a bloody mess, and only a skeleton was left. However, Hua Tianchong still failed to kill Ling Zhao. Ling Zhao relied on the primordial immortal body and 3 powerful extreme Dao Emperor weapons to fight against Hua Tianchong. In the end, he managed to hold on. Damn it! How can his vitality be so strong? Hua Tianchong was a little flustered. His eyes were filled with disbelief, and he could even feel the strength in his body draining away. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before the powerful strength given by the mark of the great emperor disappeared completely. Kill! Ling Zhao's eyes were incomparably cold as he suddenly roared. Blazing light rose from his body. The 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons, the Time Compass, the Heaven's Might Prison Steel, and the Heavenly Punishment Saber, struck across the sky and suppressed Hua Tianchong. The 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons seemed to have completely awakened. The void was distorted, and incomparably terrifying figures vaguely appeared. Hua Tianchong's body trembled violently, and the strength in his body drained away rapidly. His eyes were filled with incomparable horror as he coughed out blood and was sent flying. Boom! Ling Zhao's figure was like a bolt of lightning. His speed was extremely fast, and he appeared behind Hua Tianchong directly. Then he grabbed Hua Tianchong's arms, and an unparalleled divine force erupted from his body. He suddenly tore them apart. Blood rained down in the void, and Hua Tianchong was directly torn apart by Ling Zhao. A purple mark that was as bright as the sun appeared. It seemed to contain an incomparably mysterious figure. It trembled slightly in the void, as if it wanted to fly out. Ling Zhao did not hesitate. He opened his mouth and activated the sky-devouring secret technique. The mighty aura enveloped the mark of the great emperor before he swallowed it into his stomach. Boom! Like a sudden clap of thunder, Ling Zhao's body instantly gushed out billions of dazzling celestial lights. Auspicious qi rose into the air, and thousands of rays of multicolored light shone. A mysterious celestial sound spread out, and all sorts of mysterious phenomena appeared around Ling Zhao. It's him! Ling Zhao's body trembled. His eyes were filled with radiance, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Peek! Chapter 2868. His Highness of the Immortal Race. Ling Zhao did not expect that the figure he saw in the great emperor's imprint after devouring it was the immortal race's highness. Ling Zhao was still wondering where Hua Tianchong got the great emperor's imprint, but he did not expect it to be related to the immortal race. Has the Chinese been infiltrated by the immortal race? Ling Zhao's body trembled and his eyes became extremely serious. This matter was even more important than his intention to exterminate the Chinese. There was no doubt that the immortal race was powerful. They were the first epic lord and had been standing strong for countless years. They had accumulated a lot of resources. Even the demon race was far inferior to the immortal race. The great emperor's imprint of the immortal race had appeared in Hua Tianchong's body and the immortal race's highness's shadow. Did this mean that the immortal race had begun to set up a trap in the divine world? Rumble! Blazing divine light rose in the void and blood rained down. Hua Tianchong was torn apart by Ling Zhao and even his primordial spirit was devoured by Ling Zhao. Ling Zhao's body emitted dazzling immortal light. It was ethereal and mysterious. The dazzling light fell from the 9 heavens and poured into his body, making him feel like he was going to fly into the sky. Everyone's face was extremely pale and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Hua Tianchong, who had the great emperor's imprint, still died in Ling Zhao's hands? Looking at Ling Zhao's monstrous aura, the 3 powerful extreme Dao Emperor weapons, and the panicked faces of the Chinese and the 3 immortal sacred grounds, everyone's heart sank. Today, the Chinese and the 3 immortal sacred grounds would probably be exterminated. Rumble. The great emperor's imprint contained a trace of the great emperor's origin energy. It was extremely terrifying. With Ling Zhao's cultivation base, it was impossible for him to refine the great emperor's imprint. However, Ling Zhao had the wordless heavenly book, so the great emperor's imprint was devoured by the wordless heavenly book. Ling Zhao closed his eyes. As he devoured Hua Tianchong's primordial spirit, he began to extract Hua Tianchong's memories. He wanted to know why Hua Tianchong was related to the immortal race's highness. Ling Zhao could faintly see that in Hua Tianchong's memories, within the endless primal chaos space, there was a mysterious immortal palace. Hua Tianchong was kneeling in front of the immortal race's majesty, and the immortal race's majesty was saying something. However, before Ling Zhao could hear what the immortal highness had to say, the immortal highness suddenly raised his head. A pair of bright and mysterious eyes seemed to pierce through the layers of space and met Ling Zhao's gaze. There was a hint of mockery in his eyes. Hua Tianchong's memory instantly exploded into powder. Ling Zhao's expression was somewhat cold. Although he didn't discover any more secrets, the actions of the immortal race's royal highness allowed Ling Zhao to see that Hua Tianchong was indeed a pawn of the immortal race's royal highness. It seems that we have to kill all the Chinese. We can't let the immortal race stir up trouble in the God realm. Killing intent flashed in Ling Zhao's eyes as he thought to himself. At this moment, the faces of the Chinese, the 5 Elements Heaven sect, the Heavenly Curse sect, and the Space-Time Heavenly sect turned pale. Their eyes were filled with panic. They felt a strong sense of threat from Ling Zhao. Who could stop Ling Zhao now? Not to mention, the Chinese and the 3 immortal sacred grounds only had 25 heavenly venerables. They were already at a disadvantage. Now that Ling Zhao was unrestrained, he was like a ferocious tiger that had come out of the mountains. How long could the 25 heavenly venerables withstand Ling Zhao's attacks? Could it be that the heavens want us to die? Everyone from the 4 superforces felt an incomparable sadness and despair in their hearts. The Chinese even began to regret. If they had known that Ling Zhao was so domineering and powerful, they would have agreed to Ling Zhao's conditions and lent him the heavenly capital scripture. So what? It was much better than the current situation where their clans were wiped out. Rumble. At this moment, a vast and ethereal aura suddenly appeared above the 9 heavens. It was as if there was an immemorial sacred mountain in the void, exuding an ancient and boundless aura. A white-robed figure stood on top of the immemorial sacred mountain. His aura was ethereal, like an emperor descending to the mortal world. It was a spirited and handsome middle-aged man. He looked like a scholar of the mortal world. His appearance was strange, and his gaze was deep and gentle. It was as if it contained boundless space and time, and the mysterious scene of the chaos being split apart appeared. When he appeared in the void, everyone could not help but tremble. They suddenly felt as if they had been seen through from head to toe. Beside the white-robed man stood an acquaintance of Ling Zhao's, Jiang Yuyang. However, at this moment, Ling Zhao's gaze was completely attracted by the white-robed middle-aged man. Senior Kunwu? Ling Zhao's body trembled, and a trace of incomparable surprise appeared in his eyes. Who else could it be other than the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain? Previously, Ling Zhao had heard from Jiang Yuyang that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain had left the realm of the gods to attend to important matters. He felt extremely regretful. He did not expect the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain to come here today. To Ling Zhao, the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was both a teacher and a friend. He was Ling Zhao's guide on the Great Tao. Ling Zhao had always been extremely respectful to the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. "It's Lord Kunwu?" "Greetings, Lord Kunwu," someone exclaimed. Immediately, an extremely excited and fanatical look of worship appeared in his eyes. Lord Kunwu? The supreme expert of the realm of the gods, the protector of the human race, Lord Kunwu? I never thought that I would be able to see Lord Kunwu in my lifetime. Greetings, Lord Kunwu. Greetings, Lord Kunwu. The arrival of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain immediately caused everyone to tremble. Their eyes were filled with endless worship as they bowed to pay their respects. Many young people were at a loss. They didn't know who Lord Kunwu was and why he had such great prestige. However, as the older generation explained, many of them gradually understood. Their eyes were full of respect. Lord Kunwu, Lord Kunwu, Lord Kunwu, Lord Kunwu. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was a legend in the realm of the gods. Legend had it that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was a figure from the beginning of the human race. He was even more ancient than the 9 emperors of the human race. Even the heavenly emperor had once studied under the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain did not belong to any power. However, he was the protector of the human race. During the 9 emperors of the human race, the 9 emperors dominated the ancient times and led the human race to glory. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was not famous. However, after the 9 emperors of the human race, the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was the true protector of the human race. He had resolved the crisis of the human race many times, saved the human race from disaster, and repelled the invasion of the demon race several times. His strength was unparalleled and unfathomable. Some people said that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's cultivation had reached the peak of the Emperor realm. He was only a step away from becoming a great emperor. Chapter 2869. As for why the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was unable to break through to the great emperor realm, there were many different theories, but no one knew the reason. However, the older generation were all fanatical admirers of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. However, this was the first time the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain appeared in front of everyone. Previously, the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain had never shown his true form in public. Everyone was extremely excited, and the experts of the Chinese and the 3 immortal Holy Lands looked as though they had seen their savior. Their eyes were filled with excitement. Lord Kunwu, save us. Ling Xiao colluded with the monster race and killed our experts. He has already destroyed the Imperial Obelisk, and now he wants to destroy the Chinese and the 3 immortal Holy Lands. He's going to destroy the pillars of the human race. Lord Kunwu, please kill Ling Xiao. Lord Kunwu, if Ling Xiao doesn't die, the human race in the divine realm will never have peace. The heavenly venerables of the Chinese and the 3 immortal Holy Lands bowed to the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain with pleading eyes. At the same time, they looked at Ling Xiao coldly. Ling Xiao would definitely die if the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain arrived. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was not a great emperor, but he was even more powerful than one. They did not think that Ling Xiao would be a match for the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain valued the human race greatly and had always been the guardian of the human race. He would definitely not allow Ling Xiao to behave atrociously here. A strange look appeared in everyone's eyes. Did the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain really come because Ling Xiao attacked the ancestral land of the Chinese and wanted to stop him? If that was the case, Ling Xiao would be in danger. Emperor! The white dragon horse trembled when it saw the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. Its eyes were filled with excitement, and it instantly turned into a bolt of lightning and shot toward the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. The white dragon horse was extremely excited, and its eyes were filled with admiration. It rushed to the front of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain and rubbed its head against the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's arm intimately. Emperor, I finally get to see you again. The white dragon horse's voice was choked with emotions. It was like a wanderer who had left home for a long time and was excited to see his parents again. Little White, I haven't seen you for a few hundred years. I didn't expect you to have grown to such a level. Not bad, not bad. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain stroked the white dragon horse's head and smiled. Everyone was slightly taken aback. The white dragon horse was actually an old friend of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, and they seemed to have a close relationship. What about Ling Xiao? Everyone's eyes fell on Ling Xiao, and some guesses surfaced in their hearts. Ling Zhao's expression was calm as he took a deep breath. He stepped through the air and arrived before the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. He bowed respectfully and said, "Junior Ling Zhao greets Senior Kunwu. It's been more than 200 years since we last met, but Senior is still as elegant as ever." Ling Zhao's words made everyone's heart sink, especially the Chinese and the people from the three immortal Holy Lands. They looked as though their parents had died. Their faces were extremely ugly, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Ling Zhao is actually an old friend of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain? How was this possible? Ling Zhao, you did well. You did better than I expected. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said with a smile, and there was a hint of emotion in his eyes. More than 200 years ago, Ling Zhao was not even in the divine realm. He was only in the mortal realm. When the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain met Ling Zhao, he gave Ling Zhao a lot of pointers. However, even the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain did not expect Ling Zhao to grow to such a level in just 200 years. Ling Zhao was indeed the chosen one. He was right about Ling Zhao. "Thank you, Senior. May I know why you're here today? Is it because of my attack on the Chinese and the three immortal Holy Lands?" Ling Zhao asked curiously. "That's right. I'm indeed here for that. Ling Zhao, why don't you let me handle the feud between you and the four forces?" The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain nodded. "All right, I'll leave it to you." Ling Zhao nodded without hesitation. He believed that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain would not be here for no reason, and he also believed that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain would give him a fair explanation. "All right." The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain smiled faintly with a hint of admiration in his eyes. He slowly turned around and looked at the people of the Chinese and the three immortal Holy Lands. His gaze was extremely gentle, but it made the people of the four forces nervous. Even the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was an old friend of Ling Zhao. Could it be that they really had no way out today? However, with the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's magnanimity and benevolence, he should leave them with a slim chance of survival, right? I didn't expect that Hua Tianchong, the young genius of the Chinese and known as the Heavenly King, would actually collude with the immortal race. I'm really disappointed. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain revealed a trace of disappointment in his eyes as he spoke slowly. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's words were like a sudden clap of thunder that instantly shocked everyone. Their eyes were filled with incomparable shock. Hua Tianchong colluded with the immortal race? This news was too explosive. For a moment, everyone was so shocked that they couldn't react. What was the immortal race? Although many people felt unfamiliar with the immortal race, as more and more foreign races invaded the heavenly realm, many ancient secrets were revealed. Many people gradually understood the other races in the myriad worlds. The immortal race was known as a race that was more powerful and ancient than the devil race. They were the first lord of the era. However, for the human race, those who were not of the same race were bound to have a different heart. Whether it was the immortal race or the devil race, they were all foreign races. If they colluded with the foreign races and harmed the human race, they would be traitors to the human race. Hua Tianchong betrayed the human race? The Chinese were the descendants of Emperor Tiandu. How could they do such a thing? However, the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain seemed to have no intention of explaining to everyone at all. His gaze was incomparably deep as it fell on the people of the Chinese and the three immortal Holy Lands. "Now, I suspect that there's a spy of the immortal race among you. So next, I will use the secret technique to illuminate the heavens. Don't resist. Otherwise, you will either die or be injured." The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said indifferently. The people of the Chinese and the three immortal Holy Lands were in an uproar. All of them had a panicked look in their eyes. Not only did the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain not stand up for them, but he even suspected that there was a spy of the immortal race among them and wanted to investigate them. This made them feel as if their parents had died, and their faces were incomparably ugly. "Lord Kunwu, you must be mistaken. Hua Tianchong is the current patriarch of the Chinese. How could he collude with the immortal race? The Chinese are the descendants of Emperor Tiandu. No matter what, we would never betray the human race." A Chinese heavenly venerable ancestor cupped his hands and bowed to the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. It's precisely because you are the descendants of Emperor Tiandu that some of you colluded with the immortal race. That's even more disappointing. Whether it's a mistake or not, we'll know after the investigation. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said indifferently, showing an unprecedented strength. The attitude of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was that he would rather kill the wrong person than let them go. I didn't expect that the immortal race would make Lord Kunwu so cautious. Ling Xiao was also shocked. He knew that the immortal race was powerful, but he didn't expect the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain to be so cautious, as if he was extremely afraid of the immortal race. End of this chapter. Chapter 2870. Although the experts of the Hua clan and the 3 immortal holy lands looked terrible, they could only agree in the end. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain had unimaginable prestige in the immortal world, so they did not dare to resist. Rumble. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain radiated a dazzling light, and a mysterious chaotic mist spread out. There seemed to be a mysterious scene of the birth and death of the world in his eyes. An immeasurable light rose up. It was pure and mysterious like flowing moonlight. It bloomed above the ancestral land of the Hua clan, enveloping the Hua clan and the people of the 3 immortal holy lands. The light seemed to be a mysterious force at the beginning of the world. It could penetrate time and space and illuminate everything. It was extremely powerful. After being illuminated by the light, everyone trembled slightly. They seemed to have become transparent, and no secrets could be hidden. All of them were exposed to the eyes of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. What a powerful heaven-illuminating technique! Ling Xiao thought to himself as a bright light flashed in his eyes. The heaven-illuminating technique was mysterious and unfathomable. It contained a kind of origin power that Ling Xiao could not understand. It seemed to be able to see through everything, and any power appeared clearly. Moreover, the heaven-illuminating technique was cast on so many people at the same time, which made Ling Xiao feel that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was unfathomable. Are there really spies of the immortal race among the Hua clan and the 3 immortal holy lands? It's very likely. Even Lord Kunwu has confirmed that Hua Tianchong became so powerful just now. I'm afraid it's because of the imprint of the immortal race's great emperor. If there are spies of the immortal race among the Hua clan, then the Hua clan is really a disgrace to the Emperor of Tiandu. Everyone secretly guessed in their hearts. If Ling Xiao pointed out this matter, perhaps everyone would be skeptical. However, Lord Kunwu said that Hua Tianchong was colluding with the immortal race. Moreover, it was very likely that there were spies of the immortal race among the Hua clan and the 3 immortal holy lands. Almost everyone believed it. The prestige of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was too high. It was so high that no matter what he said, no one would doubt it. At this moment, a few figures among the Hua clan and the 3 immortal holy lands suddenly burst out with dazzling immortal light. Propitious chi rose, and runes intertwined. Each of them burst out a supreme power and were about to escape. Are there really spies from the immortals? Someone exclaimed, his eyes filled with disbelief. No one had expected that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain would actually find a Chinese spy among the people of the Hua clan and the 3 immortal sacred grounds after using the heaven-illuminating technique. Almost all of those figures were at the Saint King realm, and their strength was unparalleled. However, at this moment, their bodies were shrouded in celestial light, and a strange energy was erupting from them. Under the heaven-illuminating technique of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, those figures could no longer conceal the immortal energy in their bodies and were instantly exposed. They all knew how terrifying the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was, so they didn't even think about it and wanted to teleport away. You'd better stay here. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain sighed softly. Boom! With a wave of his sleeve, a resplendent light bloomed. There seemed to be another universe within his sleeve. It was like a vast world, and an incomparably powerful devouring force erupted, sucking those figures into his sleeve. The many experts of the Hua clan and the 3 immortal sacred grounds looked extremely gloomy at this moment, and their eyes were filled with panic. They had really been infiltrated by the immortals. Although there were only a few of them, almost all of them were at the level of supreme elders. They were powerful and influential, and they had access to the secrets of the various immortals' sacred grounds. Even such people had become spies of the immortals, which showed how terrifying the immortals were. Only a few spies of the immortals? It seems that the immortals are still extremely cautious. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he muttered to himself softly. Originally, he thought that the Hua clan and the three immortal sacred grounds might have been infiltrated by the immortals. After all, Hua Tianchong had become a subordinate of the immortals. However, it seemed that Hua Tianchong hadn't had time to take action, or the immortals were more cautious, so only a few people had become spies of the immortals. The Hua clan, the Five Elements Sacred Sect, the Space-Time Heavenly Sect, and the Heavenly Curse Sect have even been infiltrated by the immortals. How sad. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain sighed softly. The people of the Hua clan and the three immortal sacred grounds panicked. The four heavenly venerable ancestors, who were the leaders, bowed deeply to the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain and said, "Lord Kunwu, please understand. We also don't know how the immortals managed to infiltrate us. We will never betray the human clan. Please be lenient." They were completely flustered. Their eyes were filled with panic, and their bodies were trembling slightly. The immortals had infiltrated all the supreme elders of the four superpowers. The four superpowers couldn't absolve themselves from the blame. If Lord Kunwu was really furious, the four superpowers wouldn't be able to bear it. As the pillars of the human clan, you didn't think about protecting the human clan. Instead, you repeatedly coveted Ling Xiao and targeted Ling Xiao and the War God Temple. Your crimes are unforgivable. However, since it wasn't easy for you to cultivate, you can be spared from death, but you can't escape punishment. All the experts of the Sage Realm and above from the Hua clan, the Space-Time Heavenly Sect, the Five Elements Heavenly Sect, and the Heavenly Curse Sect will be incorporated into the Demon Suppression Army to support the extraterritorial battlefield. The four superpowers will seal your mountains for 100 years to reflect on your mistakes. You are not allowed to roam the realm of the gods as you wish. In addition, you have to lend Ling Xiao the Heavenly Capital Scripture, Void Scripture, Five Element Scripture, and Heavenly Curse Scripture. Do you accept this? The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's voice boomed like thunder in the void. Instantly, the faces of the people from the four superpowers turned ugly. Their eyes were filled with fear. All the experts of the Sage Realm and above were going to be incorporated into the Demon Suppression Army. This was a devastating blow to them. The Demon Suppression Army was a powerful army formed to fight against the Demon Clan. They had been stationed in the extraterritorial battlefield and weren't allowed to return to the realm of the gods. The Demon Suppression Army had suffered heavy casualties, and the United States had to replenish their strength from the realm of the gods for almost 100 years. Now that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain wanted all the experts of the Sage Realm and above from the four superpowers to be incorporated into the Demon Suppression Army, it was a drastic move. From now on, although the four superpowers were still preserved, they wouldn't be able to pose any threat to Ling Xiao and the War God Temple. Compared to this, sealing the mountain and even lending the four flawless Imperial Sutras to Ling Xiao was not a big deal at all. If you agree, the three Holy Lands and the three Holy Lands will still have a chance. The Chinese and the three Immortal Holy Lands still have a chance to survive. If you don't agree, then I won't interfere in today's matter. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said calmly. The faces of the Chinese and the three Holy Lands turned ashen. Their eyes were filled with despair, and their hearts sank. If the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain didn't interfere, with Ling Zhao's powerful strength, he would definitely kill them all. The four superpowers would be reduced to ashes in an instant. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was telling them that they only had one choice. End of chapter. Chapter 2871. Everyone's expression changed as they looked at the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain in awe. One had to admit that the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain was too ruthless. All the powerhouses above the Saint Realm from the Chinese and the three Immortal Saint Lands had been recruited into the Demon Suppression Army. This meant that more than half of the four superforces were crippled. They could no longer pose a threat to Ling Xiao and the Combat God Temple. No one knew how long it would take for them to recover to their peak strength. But on the other hand, this was the best choice. Compared to annihilating their sects and clans, this was considered merciful to the four superpowers. Most importantly, they would be able to preserve their orthodoxy. In the end, the Chinese and the three immortal sacred grounds chose to submit. Under Jiang Yuyang's supervision, all the Sage Realm experts from the four superpowers gathered together and prepared to head to the extraterritorial battlefield to be recruited into the Demon Suppression Army. The complete copies of the four flawless Imperial Sutras were also handed over to Ling Xiao. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain waved his sleeves again, and all the experts above the Sage stage from the four super forces, which numbered in the tens of thousands, were sucked into his sleeves. Ling Xiao, are you satisfied with my decision? The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain smiled faintly at Ling Xiao. I'll follow your decision, senior. I have no objections. Ling Xiao said seriously. He could roughly guess the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's intention. To Ling Xiao, annihilating the sects and clans was the best way to eliminate all future troubles. However, from the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's point of view, the most important thing was to unite the human race as much as possible and preserve the strength of the human race to face the invasion of the foreign races. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's decision relieved Ling Xiao of his worries. Naturally, Ling Xiao had no objections. That's good. Come with me. There's a change in the situation. Jiang Yuyang is going to undergo the heavenly tribulation today. You need to protect him first. There's something important I need you to do later. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain nodded and transmitted his voice to Ling Xiao. He's going to undergo the heavenly tribulation today? If that's the case, please wait for a moment. I'll go and settle down. Ling Xiao's eyes glinted as he nodded his head and said. Previously, he had heard from Jiang Yuyang that the heavenly tribulation would take a few months to prepare. However, he did not expect it to come so quickly. Moreover, even the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain came personally. It seemed that something important must have happened. Ling Xiao used the heaven's might to open up the void passageway, allowing Enai Shang and the rest to lead the Saint army back to the demon realm temporarily. As for the old goat and Taoist Wu Yang, they stayed behind. Together with the white dragon horse, they were prepared to explore the divine world. Ling Xiao naturally did not stop them. The rest of the emperors of the sacred heavenly tribulation. After Xiao, Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, Jiang Yuyang, Emperor, and Emperor of Kunwu Jiang Yuyang. Looking at the backs of Ling Xiao and the Kunwu Mountain Sovereign Emperor, everyone's body trembled violently. All of them revealed different expressions. No one had expected that the Chinese race and the three immortal holy lands would be saved in such a way. However, after this battle, all the experts above the Sage Realm from the four superpowers were incorporated into the Demon Suppression Army. There were no longer any Sage Realm experts in the sect. Furthermore, under the orders of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, the sect was sealed off for 100 years. Who knew what it would be like 100 years later? Everyone knew that the three immortal sacred grounds were likely completely weakened. It would be extremely difficult for them to recover their peak strength. However, today's battle also shocked everyone. The news of the battle started from the ancestral land of the Hua clan and spread to the divine world, causing another shock in the divine world. Ling Xiao's name once again spread throughout the God realm. However, all of this had nothing to do with Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao followed the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain and Jiang Yuyang out of the Chinese ancestral land and headed for the extraterritorial battlefield. Senior Kunwu, what happened? Ling Xiao asked curiously. Right now, I'm just guessing what happened. I can't tell you for the time being. After Jiang Yuyang transcends his tribulation, everything will become clear. Jiang Yuyang will also undergo the heavenly tribulation today. At that time, only you and Slovenly will be able to protect him. I will also be restrained by others and will not be able to help you. So, everything will depend on you. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said slowly with an unprecedentedly solemn look in his eyes. Heavenly Venerable Yuyang, why are you undergoing the heavenly tribulation in advance? Ling Xiao looked at Jiang Yuyang and asked. Because the news of my heavenly tribulation has already been spread. The longer it drags on, the more disadvantageous it will be. So, I might as well choose to undergo the heavenly tribulation before they react. Although the preparation is a little rushed, it's enough. Jiang Yuyang smiled faintly. Someone spread the news? Who is it? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed sharply. He knew how important Jiang Yuyang was. This supreme expert who cultivated the great path of the human emperor was born for 9 lifetimes just to complete this heavenly tribulation. Logically speaking, the news of Jiang Yuyang's heavenly tribulation should be very secretive. Who would be so crazy as to spread the news of Jiang Yuyang's heavenly tribulation? I'm still investigating who it is. However, this person deserves to die. How dare he spread such a big news to the foreign races? Yuyang's heavenly tribulation will be even more dangerous. Ling Xiao, are you afraid? The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain looked at Ling Xiao and said slowly, Afraid? What do I have to be afraid of? Heavenly Venerable Yuyang's heavenly tribulation this time is also an opportunity for me to observe. Those foreign races who dare to attack Heavenly Venerable Yuyang are probably tired of living. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as a trace of cold killing intent surged in his eyes. The human race was already in a precarious situation. He didn't expect that someone would be so crazy as to spread the news of Jiang Yuyang's heavenly tribulation to the foreign races. Moreover, they hid it so well that even the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain didn't discover it. Ling Zhao's heart also surged with anger. No matter who leaked the news, they deserve to die. He had already promised to protect Jiang Yuyang, so he naturally wouldn't go back on his word. Ling Xiao also wanted to see who would come to stop Jiang Yuyang's heavenly tribulation this time. That's right. They're tired of living, but they're also extremely daring. If they can kill Heavenly Venerable Yuyang, I'm afraid they won't let go of this opportunity. Ling Xiao sneered. Ling Xiao, I'm afraid this time is far more dangerous than you think. I'll stop those supreme emperors for you, but you'll have to face the other dangers alone. I hope Yuyang can successfully transcend the heavenly tribulation this time and break through to the emperor realm. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said slowly. I'll have to trouble you, young friend Ling. Jiang Yuyang also said seriously to Ling Xiao. Don't worry, Heavenly Venerable Yuyang. Since I've promised, I'll definitely do it. Ling Xiao replied with a smile, but there was a blazing sharpness in his eyes. End of chapter. Chapter 2872. In the Extraterritorial Void. This was outside the divine world, but it was within the divine world's heavenly way. It was shrouded in mist and the bright starry sky above looked vast and lonely. In the distance, there were lonely stars floating in the chaotic void. Lightning flashed in the surroundings and there was a divine light storm surging past like a raging sea. Ling Xiao could feel that the extraterritorial void was extremely dangerous. If experts below the Sage Realm were to come here, they would not be able to survive. Even if they were Sage Realm experts, if they were to fall into the terrifying lightning and divine light storm, they would either die or be severely injured. This was a chaotic region. At the same time, it was the best place to undergo the tribulation. Ling Xiao understood why Jiang Yuyang chose to undergo the tribulation here. The Emperor Tribulation was extremely powerful and terrifying. It was a test of the heavenly way. It would cause too much damage in the divine world. Moreover, one would not be able to experience the vast heavenly way and heavenly way origin. Jiang Yuyang's human emperor's great way was extraordinary. Only in this chaotic region could he unleash his full potential with the addition of heavenly way origin. Moreover, it might not be safe in the divine world. The divine world had become the focus of the heavenly way origin. Many foreign races were eyeing the divine world. On the contrary, undergoing the tribulation in the extraterritorial void was a natural barrier. It could conceal one's aura to the greatest extent. However, once Jiang Yuyang started to undergo the tribulation, the vast heavenly way origin that would be unleashed by the Emperor Tribulation would be discovered by others. However, at this time, he would need a protector. Sush, sush, sush. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, Jiang Yuyang and Ling Xiao landed on a star that was covered in lightning. And on this star, Ling Xiao also saw an old friend. The slovenly Taoist, Yi Liangshan's master. He could be called the Slovenly Emperor now. Jiang Yuyang's Tao protectors were the Sloppy Emperor and Ling Xiao. Greetings, Senior Slovenly. Ling Xiao bowed to the Slovenly Emperor solemnly. 200 years ago, the Slovenly Emperor blocked many experts from the immortal sacred grounds for Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao was indebted to him, and naturally, Ling Xiao was extremely grateful. There's no need to be so courteous. Little friend Ling Xiao, I didn't expect you to grow to such an extent in a short 200 years. It's truly unbelievable. The sloppy monarch sighed with emotion. Senior, you flatter me. Ling Xiao replied with a smile. Ling Xiao had been observing the star beneath their feet. This star looked very ancient and was hidden in the chaotic fog. Countless blazing thunderbolts intertwined around it like a sea of thunder. This was a natural place for tribulation transcendence. The lightning in the surroundings was formed by the Great Tao laws. The Great Tao lightning formed by the interweaving of the Great Tao laws in this chaotic domain had unfathomable power and was incomparably terrifying. If he were to trigger the descent of the myriad Taos during his tribulation, even if someone were to sense that something was amiss, it would be very difficult for them to discover it immediately. Yu Yang, this is the place I've chosen for you to transcend your tribulation. Next, I will take action to block the spying of some of the supreme experts in the universe. However, if there are any fish that escapes the net, then you can only rely on yourselves. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said slowly. Thank you, sir. I understand. Jiang Yuyang said with a nod. Then prepare for your tribulation. The Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said before taking a step forward and disappearing into the void. Jiang Yuyang looked at Ling Xiao and the sloppy monarch and said slowly, I'll have to trouble the two of you to protect me from now on. I have a feeling that the tribulation transcendence this time won't be so peaceful. Don't worry. This time, no one can stop you from attaining the human emperor realm. However, the key to protecting you this time is still my young friend Ling Xiao. The sloppy monarch said with a smile. Ling Xiao was a little surprised. That's right. My young friend Ling Xiao, I didn't expect that the Demon Emperor's 10,000 Demon Banner would fall into your hands. The 10,000 Demon Banner is the core of the Zhou Tian stellar formation. I've been searching for it for countless years, but I couldn't find it. With the 10,000 Demon Banner, I'll personally preside over the Zhou Tian stellar formation. Even if it's an emperor expert, he'll die if he comes. The sloppy monarch's eyes lit up as he spoke. His eyes were filled with incomparable excitement. Senior, are you going to preside over the Zhou Tian stellar formation? That's a good idea. Ling Xiao nodded and said with a smile. He had once heard Yi Liangshan boast that the sloppy monarch was known as the Formation Tao monarch. His attainments in the Formation Tao were unparalleled in the world. 200 years ago, it was the sloppy monarch who set up the Zhou Tian stellar formation and blocked many experts from the various immortal sacred grounds. It could be seen that the sloppy monarch's attainments in the Zhou Tian stellar formation were also very deep. This is the best place to set up the Zhou Tian stellar formation. After the Zhou Tian stellar formation is set up, it can guide the power of the stars in Zhou Tian and illuminate the souls of billions of demons. It can erupt with destructive power. Even an emperor can forget about taking a step forward. The sloppy emperor said excitedly as he looked at the stars around him. His face was filled with confidence. Previously, he was still a little worried. However, after the battle in the ancestral land of the Hua people, Ling Zhao's 10,000 Demons banner had set up the Zhou Tian stellar formation and blocked the 12 divine beings' wraith formation of the Hua people. The sloppy monarch was much more confident after hearing this news. The Zhou Tian stellar formation was known as the #1 emperor formation in the demon realm. It was naturally terrifying. If that's the case, I'll have to trouble Senior to set up the formation. The massive heavenly cycle stellar array could indeed unleash an even greater power here. When the time comes, Senior will preside over the formation while I hide in the formation and wait for an opportunity to kill the enemies. Ling Xiao smiled and took out the 10,000 Demons banner without hesitation and handed it to the sloppy monarch. Compared to using the formation to trap and kill the enemies, Ling Xiao preferred to rely on his own strength to kill the enemies. That's my intention too. Your combat strength is extraordinary and you even have an extreme Dao Monarch weapon. In the Zhou Tian stellar formation, you can even kill an Emperor Realm expert. I'd like to see if those reckless fools dare to come. The sloppy monarch sneered. Jiang Yuyang sat down on a mountain peak. His white robe fluttered in the wind and his body exuded an ethereal and strange aura. Ling Xiao could feel that Jiang Yuyang was accumulating power. At the same time, the vast Tao of heaven and earth around him intertwined and formed a strange resonance with the surrounding void. Jiang Yuyang's aura was vast and unfathomable. Ling Xiao could even feel that Jiang Yuyang's aura was not something that a heavenly master could possess. Even the reincarnation master, who had just entered the Emperor realm, was inferior to Jiang Yuyang. This peerless figure who had cultivated the human emperor's great way and had reincarnated 9 times was indeed extraordinary. However, the more this was the case, the more Ling Xiao could understand the seriousness of Jiang Yuyang's tribulation this time. Not only was the Emperor tribulation terrifying, but the experts of the demon race and the Great Thousand World probably did not want such a peerless figure to appear in the human race. Rumble. The sloppy Emperor held the 10,000 demon banner in his hand as he muttered under his breath. A vast and mysterious aura rippled from his body. In an instant, the stars in the sky swayed. The starlight was dazzling as it gathered in a mighty manner. The massive heavenly cycle stellar formation was slowly taking shape. Peace, I've not been in a good state for the past 2 days. The plot has been stuck and I can't write it. I'll adjust my state tomorrow and try to write more. End of chapter. Chapter 2873. The Zhou Tian star formation was successfully set up. The sloppy Emperor Lord hid in the dark with the 10,000 demon banner. Only Ling Xiao and Jiang Yuyang were left on this star. Rumble. Blazing lightning rose in the surroundings, and chaotic mist filled the air. Vast great Dao laws interweaved, forming mysterious runes, causing the place to become even more chaotic. Jiang Yuyang sat cross-legged on a mountain peak. His body seemed to be able to attract the stars in the sky, releasing a blazing and dazzling light. Ling Xiao could feel Jiang Yuyang's aura rising and merging with the surrounding heaven and earth, causing many of Jiang Yuyang's imprints to appear in the void. Jiang Yuyang was already on the verge of a breakthrough. Legend has it that the Emperor Tribulation is also known as the Quasi-Emperor Tribulation. If one wants to control the origin of the Great Tao, one must pass the test of the origin of the Great Tao. Therefore, it is also known as the Tribulation of the Heavenly Tao, the Tribulation of the Origin, and the Tribulation of the Inner Demon. Only after passing the 3 tribulations can one break through to the Emperor realm. Ling Xiao thought to himself. Among the 3 tribulations, each one was more dangerous than the last. The slightest carelessness would cause one to turn into ashes. Although the Zhou Tian star formation had been set up around him, Ling Xiao still did not relax at all. He was extremely vigilant as he observed the vast starry sky around him. Ling Xiao, Jiang Yuyang's Emperor Tribulation is about to arrive. This great tribulation might last for a few days. During this period of time, it's up to us. Suddenly, the sloppy Emperor Lord's voice entered Ling Xiao's ears. Ling Xiao's body trembled. He immediately saw 3 great Dao immortal flowers blooming above Jiang Yuyang's head. They were mysterious and sparkling, as if they were rooted in the great Tao and contained the vast secrets of heaven and earth. Rumble. A resplendent divine light shot into the sky from each of the 3 great Tao immortal flowers. It was vast and mighty, connecting the heavens and the sun. In an instant, the stars in the sky lost their color. The Emperor Tribulation has begun. Ling Xiao's heart trembled, and his gaze immediately became sharper. The 3 great Tao immortal flowers were Jiang Yuyang's essence, energy, and spirit. They began to guide the descent of the great Tao. This meant that he had begun to break through to the Emperor realm. Rumble. Above the 9 heavens, thunder rumbled and the heavens shook. Blazing lightning gathered and filled with chaotic colors. It was as if an incomparably terrifying sea of lightning had appeared. the sea of lightning covered the heavens and the earth, and it was blazing and resplendent. Moreover, various mysterious and unfathomable phenomena were formed within it, and it faintly seemed like an extremely ancient world had appeared. A world formed by lightning. At this moment, Ling Xiao could feel the majestic might of the heavens descending. The might of the great path intertwined and merged into the sea of thunder. It was nurturing an incomparably terrifying destructive force. Tribulation of the Heavenly Tao. The so-called tribulation of the Heavenly Tao was a test left behind by the Heavenly Tao for living beings who wanted to break through. It was also a baptism of the Heavenly Tao's will. Every single bolt of lightning was formed from the power of the heavens and contained the power to destroy everything. It was incomparably terrifying. If one couldn't withstand it, they would instantly turn into ashes. Under the Heavenly Tao tribulation, the slightest flaw could be fatal. Therefore, if Zhou Tian could not become one and condense his essence, energy, and spirit into a leakless true body, he would not be able to survive the Heavenly Tao tribulation. Under Ling Xiao's gaze, a blazing bolt of lightning instantly connected the heavens and the earth and descended from the sea of thunder. The lightning tribulation that was like a heavenly pillar emitted a black light, causing the surrounding space to distort. Even the blazing lightning around the star was attracted over, forming a lethal domain. The first bolt of the Heavenly Tao tribulation is actually comparable to an attack from an imperial emperor. I wonder how many Heavenly Tao tribulations Senior Jiang Yuyang will attract. Ling Xiao exclaimed in his heart. The Heavenly Tao tribulation was actually so terrifying. He wondered what the origin tribulation and the tribulation of the inner demon would be like. Rumble. Jiang Yuyang was instantly drowned by the black lightning. He did not block it and allowed the black lightning to flow throughout his body, causing his body to emit a blazing and dazzling light. Ling Xiao saw that behind Jiang Yuyang, chaotic light spewed out. Vaguely, an ancient figure wearing a high crown and a wide belt seemed to appear. Although it looked a little illusory, it emitted a mysterious aura that could enlighten all living beings. Jiang Yuyang had used his physical body to forcefully withstand the tribulation of the Heavenly Tao, but his entire body was flawless. Not only was he not injured at all, he even seemed to have digested the tribulation thunder, causing his aura to become even stronger. The figure behind him also became more solid. Is that Senior Jiang Yuyang's great Tao of the human emperor? Ling Xiao's heart trembled slightly, and his eyes were filled with shock. That figure seemed to be a saint who had walked out of the human tribe's arduous journey. He also seemed to be the king who had created the human tribe's new era. Although his face was a little blurry, his eyes were filled with compassion for the state of the universe and the fate of mankind, as well as determination and courage. That was the embodiment of Jiang Yuyang's own Tao, and also the source of his power. Although it was illusory, it gave Ling Xiao an extremely strange feeling, as if he was facing an ancient emperor. Rumble. In the void, the vast sea of lightning seemed to boil, and a terrifying pressure descended, pressing down on Jiang Yuyang. At the same time, bolt after bolt of terrifying lightning pierced through the sky, piercing through the void, shattering everything as they crashed down on Jiang Yuyang. Jiang Yuyang sat cross-legged, his face solemn, and a faint smile on his lips. He vaguely resembled the figure behind him. He was enveloped by the lightning tribulation, and mysterious light spewed out from his body. The great Tao laws intertwined, and the vast heavenly might seemed to crush everything, but he was able to deal with it calmly. The lightning was formed from the heavenly Tao laws, not real lightning. It contained the destructive power of the heavenly Tao, but it could not cause any harm to Jiang Yuyang. Ling Xiao vaguely realized that the lightning was being absorbed and refined by the figure behind Jiang Yuyang, causing the figure to become more solid. Ling Xiao had a feeling that if that figure really became solid, there might be some unimaginable changes. Buzz. The mysterious sound of the great Tao sounded like the chanting of ancient people, but also like the chanting of sages. Around the figure, billions of figures of the human race appeared, and at this moment, they were all worshipping the figure with incomparable fanaticism. And around the figure, mysterious scenes of the destruction of the heavens, the fall of gods and demons, and the bloodshed of the heavens appeared. Ling Xiao suddenly realized that the figure's originally blurry face was gradually becoming clearer, and it was extremely similar to Jiang Yuyang's. The human emperor's great Tao? Senior Jiang Yuyang really has great wisdom, great perseverance, and great fortune. Ling Xiao exclaimed in his heart. Chapter 2874. With Ling Xiao's current cultivation realm, he could see that Jiang Yuyang was walking on an unprecedented path. He used the human tribe's destiny and belief as the foundation to achieve his own great path. This was different from the Reincarnation Master. The Reincarnation Great Path that the Reincarnation Master walked was originally the path that the Reincarnation Emperor once walked. The Reincarnation Master was just a latecomer. The 3,000 great paths could be said to have been opened by the predecessors. Although it was easier for the successors to break through to the Emperor realm by following the predecessors' path, they were destined to never surpass the predecessors if they didn't open their own path. The reason why the Sky Emperor was able to sweep across the universe and even kill an emperor was because he had walked on an unprecedented path, the Heavenly Emperor path. Jiang Yang was the same. He had walked on his own path, the Human Emperor path. Jiang Yuyang's Human Emperor path was originally the most likely person to become the 10th emperor of the human tribe. Unfortunately, he has been reincarnated 9 times and missed the opportunity of the first 8 reincarnations. Although he has accumulated a lot of experience, the great calamity is coming and the human tribe's destiny will be weakened. Although he has made great progress, I'm afraid he won't be able to break through to the great emperor realm in this lifetime. The sloppy emperor's voice traveled into Ling Xiao's ears with a tinge of regret. That may not be the case. If the human tribe can survive this great calamity and become the epic master again, the human emperor path will be completed. Senior Jiang Yuyang's human sovereign's great Tao has reached perfection. He may have a chance to take a peek at the great emperor realm. Ling Xiao's eyes shone brightly as he spoke slowly. You're right. But it's too difficult. This epic tribulation is the most terrifying one in 108 epics. At that time, countless geniuses, kings, and even ancient emperors will be resurrected to fight for the only chance to transcend. The sloppy emperor sighed softly. Chance to transcend? Ling Xiao grasped the crux of the sloppy emperor's words and asked curiously. Don't ask me. I'm not too sure either. It should be related to the realm above the great emperor realm. Lord Kunwa might know a thing or two. The sloppy emperor said. The realm above the great emperor realm? Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a tinge of yearning. Great emperors were already the strongest in the myriad worlds. They were known to be invincible and immortal. It was very difficult to determine a victor between great emperors. Of course, the heavenly emperor, who could suppress and kill great emperors, was an exception. What was the realm above the great emperor? Perhaps he was truly immortal and indestructible? No matter what, Jiang Yuyang has walked the human sovereign great Tao. Even if he can't break through to the great emperor realm, as long as he steps into the imperial emperor realm, he can quickly reach the 9th heavenly layer and become an invincible imperial emperor, just like Lord Kunwo. At that time, the pressure on the human race will be greatly reduced. The sloppy monarch said slowly. His voice was filled with anticipation. Although the current human race was protected by the barrier of the God realm, dangers still lurked everywhere. Once the great calamity of the epoch arrived and the myriad worlds completed their final integration, the human race would no longer be able to defend themselves. At that time, if the 3 great emperors of the demon race returned, how would the human race resist them? Not to mention, other than the demon race, there were also immortal race, monster race, and other alien race experts. There might be hidden great emperors. At that time, when the great emperors took action, the human race might be in danger of being exterminated. I understand. I hope this place can be hidden for a period of time. Ling Xiao nodded and said, I'm afraid it'll be difficult. Next, we have to be prepared for a great battle. Jiang Yuyang's heavenly tribulation is too loud. I'm afraid the demon race will find out soon. The sloppy monarch shook his head and said, Rumble. Jiang Yuyang had already passed through 50 bolts of heavenly tribulation. Although he looked safe and sound, his aura was more than 10 times stronger than before. The figure behind Jiang Yuyang, in particular, was like an ancient human sovereign descending into the world. It became more and more solid and exuded a majestic, ancient, and mysterious aura. With such a powerful aura, it was difficult for the chaotic lightning field around the planet to conceal it. It wouldn't be long before it was discovered by those foreign race powerhouses. Especially the demon race. The demon race knew Jiang Yuyang the best. They also didn't want Jiang Yuyang to break through the heavenly tribulation. Ling Xiao and the sloppy monarch had been on guard the entire time. They vigilantly observed everything around them. However, what made them feel slightly relieved was that after Jiang Yuyang had passed through 81 bolts of heavenly tribulation, he had completed the number of supremes. The heavenly tribulation was finally over. Rumble. Jiang Yuyang's entire body emitted a resplendent glow. He was like a floating immortal. His entire body emitted a vast heavenly might as if he had become a part of the heavenly Tao. He didn't seem to have changed, but his aura became more unfathomable. Especially his physical body, it began to become crystal clear and filled with an immortal luster. This was a sign that his physical body was transforming into the body of origin. Although it was only a preliminary transformation, it meant that Jiang Yuyang had 1 foot in the Imperial Emperor realm. Boundless chaotic light rose around Jiang Yuyang. In an instant, the chaos was split apart. It was as though a vast and ancient world had appeared, enveloping Jiang Yuyang within. In that ancient world, there was a great war between gods and demons. The mysterious scene of ferocious beasts filling the sky appeared. The human race wore beast skins and walked out of the primeval forest. They suffered hardships and became food for foreign races. From an incomparably miserable state, they began to work hard and gradually grew. Jiang Yuyang's entire body became incomparably illusory. It was as if he had entered that chaotic world. In the chaotic world, Jiang Yuyang became the human emperor of the human race. After comprehending the world, he comprehended a cultivation method. He taught all living beings of the human race and led the human race to gradually become stronger. He killed gods and demons, slaughtered ferocious beasts, and chased away foreign races. He led the human race to win battle after battle and won the opportunity for the human race to recuperate. He drilled wood to make fire, weaved cloth to make clothes, and cut wood to build nests. He passed down the human language and established the human language, causing the human race to know shame. He then comprehended the world and the truth of the great Tao. He led the human race from weakness to strength, from barbarism to civilization. The scene Ling Xiao saw seemed to be Jiang Yuyang's Tao, Jiang Yuyang's belief, Jiang Yuyang's persistence, and Jiang Yuyang's persistence. This was the human emperor's great Tao. It appeared incomparably clearly in front of Ling Xiao. This is the tribulation of origin? Ling Xiao's heart trembled. He guessed that Jiang Yuyang was currently transcending the tribulation of origin and was immersed in the world of origin constructed by his human emperor's great Tao. This was a test of the great Tao's origin, and also a test of Jiang Yuyang's own Tao. Moreover, Ling Xiao finally understood why Jiang Yuyang only asked him and the sloppy Emperor Lord to protect him. Jiang Yuyang's human emperor's great Tao was clearly displayed in front of Ling Xiao and the sloppy Emperor Lord when he was transcending the tribulation of origin. If the two of them had any ulterior motives, they could completely destroy Jiang Yuyang with a single strike. This was also a heavy trust. Chapter 2875. Outer Space. A figure with a monstrous aura sat cross-legged on a sun, exuding endless demonic aura. Every time he breathed in the void, a vast amount of fire from the sun would be swallowed into his stomach. The sun flickered. After dozens of breaths, the sun gradually shrank. In the end, it flew directly into his mouth and disappeared completely. Such a powerful imperial emperor tribulation. It must be Jiang Yuyang's tribulation. Human Emperor Great Tao? I'll kill you today. The figure suddenly opened his eyes, which were filled with bloodthirsty and cold killing intent. Rumble. He instantly soared into the sky, with monstrous demonic aura surging around him. He took a step forward, broke through layers of void, and headed in the direction of Jiang Yuyang's tribulation. In the lonely starry sky, there was a floating continent, exuding a monstrous aura of death. Boom! The continent trembled violently. In an instant, a giant bronze coffin rushed out from the depths of the continent, exuding an ancient and mysterious fluctuation. Jiangyun. Tribulation. Damn it! An obscure and cold sound wave came from the giant bronze coffin. The giant bronze coffin instantly soared into the sky, broke through layers of void, and left. On a planet shrouded in dazzling immortal light, there were mountains and valleys. Ancient trees towered into the sky, and auspicious steam rose. It was like a fairyland. An old man with white hair and beard sat cross-legged on the mountain peak. The sea of clouds in front of him was ethereal, mysterious, and unfathomable. The old man looked like an immortal, and his aura was unfathomable. At this moment, he suddenly opened his eyes, shooting out two terrifying beams of light like divine lamps. Human Emperor of the Human Clan? It can be used as the main ingredient of this cauldron of immortal pills. I can refine a Human Emperor immortal pill for His Highness. The old man whispered to himself. In the next moment, he held a horsetail whisk in his hand and rode a majestic white crane. He instantly rushed into the depths of the starry sky and disappeared. The divine realm was the focus of all the worlds in the universe. Although powerful people could not enter the divine realm, there were often fierce battles in the extraterritorial battlefield in the divine realm. Jiang Yuyang cultivated the human emperor's great Tao. Although he had yet to break through to the imperial emperor realm, his reputation was second only to the human race's imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain. After knowing that Jiang Yuyang was about to pass the tribulation, many experts in the universe were monitoring the God realm, paying attention to Jiang Yuyang's every move. They didn't want such a person who cultivated the great Tao of the human emperor to successfully break through to the imperial emperor realm. Although Jiang Yuyang's tribulation was hidden, the commotion caused by his tribulation was too great. Even the lightning domain around him was unable to conceal it. In the end, he was discovered. Rumble. The middle-aged man with monstrous demonic aura, the giant bronze coffin, and the white-haired old man simultaneously pierced through the void and appeared in the starry sky outside the God realm. Devil race, zombie race, and immortal race? Looks like you've really put in a lot of effort for our human Jiang Yuyang. A faint yet ethereal voice rang out. Rumble. Blazing divine light blossomed, shattering the void with a loud bang. An immemorial divine mountain connected the heavens and the sun. It was unknown how tall it was. It instantly blocked the three figures in front of it. The imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain stood at the peak of Kunwu Mountain, his white robe fluttering in the wind. His expression was indifferent and ethereal. His aura was so powerful that the surrounding stars seemed insignificant. The imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain? The middle-aged man from the devil race, the giant bronze coffin, and the old man from the immortal race exclaimed in unison. There was a hint of fear in their voices. If you retreat now, I can spare your lives. However, if you insist on coming forward, don't blame me for being impolite. The imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain said indifferently. Impolite? Imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain, you're indeed powerful. However, we're going to kill Jiang Yuyang today. You can't stop us. The middle-aged man from the devil race said coldly. Just the three of you? Perhaps it's not enough. The imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain said indifferently. Imperial emperor of Kunwu Mountain, don't be so arrogant. We're going to kill Jiang Yuyang today. If you dare to stop us, we'll kill you as well. The voice from the giant bronze coffin was domineering and cold. Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, although you're powerful, can you stop all of us? The old man from the immortal race said with a smile. Swoosh. As if in response to his words, a figure with a terrifying aura suddenly appeared in the surrounding void. Cold, killing intent surged out from the figure and locked onto the Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. Kunwu Mountain, I'm going to kill you today and avenge the humiliation from 1,000,000 years ago. An incomparably cold voice exploded in the void like a thunderclap. Rumble. It was as if another black hole had appeared, exuding a terrifying aura that could devour everything. A figure with black hair fluttering in the wind and cold eyes strolled out from the black hole. He held a black war spear in his hand and exuded a monstrous murderous aura. It was a young man in a black robe. As soon as he appeared in the void, his aura overpowered the other three. He was on par with the Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain and was even stronger. The black war spear in his hand exuded an extremely terrifying Emperor's aura as if it could destroy everything. Demon Lord Chaos. A divine light flashed in the Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain's eyes as his expression turned solemn. The Demon Lord Chaos of the demon race was an invincible demon lord of the demon race. His cultivation had reached the 9th heaven of the Imperial Emperor, and he was known as the strongest person below the 3 demon emperors. As soon as he appeared, he immediately exerted a great pressure, causing the 3 figures to lower their heads. It's not just the Demon Lord Chaos. I'm here too. Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, you won't be able to save Jiang Yuyang. A crisp laughter sounded. The chaotic mist in the void dispersed and a woman in a black dress stepped out. She looked extremely beautiful, but her eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. Nether Queen. The Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said slowly as his eyes became extremely sharp. The Nether Queen of the Underworld was a peerless expert who was no weaker than the Demon Lord Chaos. She was also a 9th Heaven Imperial Emperor and her strength was unfathomable. Now, the Demon Lord Chaos and the Nether Queen had come out together to stop the Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. Do you think you can stop me with just the 2 of you? The Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain said indifferently. His expression was very calm as if he was not surprised at all. Hehe, Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain, we know that your combat strength is monstrous. You have supported the human race for hundreds of millions of years and are the pillar of the human race. Although we can't kill you, it won't be a problem for us to trap you for a while. However, Jiang Yang will be in danger. The Nether Queen said with a smile as she walked towards the Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. She and the Demon Lord Chaos stood in front of each other while the 3 Imperial Emperors spread out in all directions. The 5 Imperial Emperors simultaneously blocked the Imperial Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. Chapter 2876. Rumble. The vast Emperor's aura emitted by the 5 Imperial Emperors shattered the surrounding void. Even the stars that were floating in the surroundings were shattered into pieces. The 5 of them seemed to have formed a killing zone, trapping the Kunwu Mountain Emperor in the center. Their eyes were filled with cold killing intent. You want to trap me? Then be prepared to lose a few great emperors. The Kunwu Mountain Emperor smiled faintly. However, his smile was a little cold and his voice was sharp. Rumble. As soon as he finished speaking, he attacked the 5 great emperors. The primordial sacred mountain under his feet came crashing down majestically. It contained an immortal and indestructible fluctuation, and it blasted towards the Demon King of Chaos first. At the same time, he waved his sleeve, and the vast power of space spread out. A terrifying, devouring vortex seemed to have appeared in his sleeve, leading to another world. It enveloped the Underworld Empress and the other great emperors. How dare you! The 5 great emperors were enraged. Their eyes were cold, and the vast emperor aura around them surged. They charged towards the Kunwu Mountain Emperor. Rumble. The void shattered, and the chaotic mist filled the air. An incomparably terrifying battle broke out in an instant. At this moment, there were also a few silent shadows that flew towards Jiang Yuyang, who was undergoing the heavenly tribulation. Who is it? Come out. A cold glint flashed in Ling Zhao's eyes as he roared. While he was protecting Jiang Yuyang, he instantly sensed several figures with incomparably powerful auras approaching this place. The one protecting Jiang Yuyang is only a heavenly venerable ant? He's really courting death. Kill him. Kill Jiang Yuyang. We can't let Jiang Yuyang break through successfully. Kill. In the void, a blazing light bloomed. In an instant, 3 figures with powerful auras appeared and pounced towards Ling Zhao at the same time. The three figures were as fast as lightning. Even Ling Xiao didn't have time to see their faces clearly. However, from the aura that erupted from their bodies, they were all great emperors. There were 3 imperial emperors and each of them was extremely powerful. They were far more powerful than the Samsara master who had fought with Ling Xiao previously. Ling Xiao could sense that these 3 great imperial monarchs were actually all members of the devil race. In order to prevent Jiang Yuyang from transcending tribulation this time, the fiend race really paid a heavy price. Ling Xiao stood protectively in front of Jiang Yuyang. His gaze was incomparably calm. Resplendent purple light gushed out from his body, causing his aura to skyrocket. Just as the 3 emperors approached Ling Xiao and Jiang Yuyang, a blazing light erupted. Billions of streaks of starlight descended from the sky, gushing down like a vast ocean. The Zhou Tian star array was activated. Zhou Tian star array? Sloppy imperial monarch, you want to trap us with this half-baked formation of yours? The 3 immortal emperors seemed to have expected this. At this moment, they could not help but laugh coldly. They still did not hesitate and continued to pounce towards Ling Xiao and Jiang Yuyang. Obviously, they knew Jiang Yuyang and the sloppy imperial monarch very well. They knew that the sloppy imperial monarch would definitely be protecting Jiang Yuyang this time. They had fought with the sloppy imperial monarch before and knew that the sloppy imperial monarch had broken through using formations. His attainments in formations were extremely high and he had even mastered the demon race's Zhou Tian star array. However, their cultivations were extremely powerful. The sloppy imperial monarch had just broken through to the immortal emperor realm not long ago. So what if he set up a formation? It would not change the outcome. The ignorant are truly fearless. I didn't expect it to be the sun, moon, and star demon monarchs of the devil race. However, do you really think that you can break through the Zhou Tian star array? The sloppy imperial monarch laughed coldly. The sun, moon, and star demon monarchs were extremely powerful. The sloppy imperial monarch had interacted with them many times and had a certain understanding of each other. Without the 10,000 demon banner, the sloppy imperial monarch would not be able to trap the 3 demon monarchs even if he set up the Zhou Tian star array. However, with the 10,000 demon banner in hand, so what if the 3 demon monarchs were the sun, moon, and star demon monarchs? The sloppy imperial monarch was confident that he could keep all of them here. Ling Xiao, I will activate the Zhou Tian star array and separate the 3 of them. You can use the power of the formation to see if you can kill them. I have a feeling that there are other people watching us from the dark. If we can kill the 3 demon monarchs, we will definitely be able to intimidate those people in the dark. The sloppy imperial monarch quickly sent a voice transmission to Ling Xiao. All right. Ling Xiao nodded without any hesitation. Blazing lightning flashed in his palm, and the heavenly punishment saber appeared in his hand in an instant. It gave off an unparalleled radiance and slashed down at one of the demon monarchs. Rumble! At the same time, the Zhou Tian star array released a dazzling radiance and a vast emperor's aura erupted. 360 supreme stars seemed to appear in the boundless void. The Zhou Tian star array received the power of the Zhou Tian star array and instantly changed the heavens and earth, forming a vast formation space. The sun, moon, and star demon monarchs instantly felt the scenery before them change. They appeared beneath a vast expanse of starry skies. Moreover, the 3 of them were separated from each other, leaving them all alone. What? The Zhou Tian star array is 10 times or 100 times stronger than before. The 3 demon monarchs' faces changed drastically and their eyes were filled with disbelief. However, they quickly guessed it, especially when they sensed the majestic extreme Tao Emperor's aura within the grand formation. They understood that the sloppy monarch had probably found the core of the grand heavenly cycle stellar formation. Break the formation by force. The 3 demon monarchs' eyes were cold. Blazing demonic light rose from their bodies as they unleashed their strongest attacks. They wanted to shatter the void and break the Zhou Tian star array by force. At this moment, Ling Xiao held the heavenly punishment saber and arrived behind demon monarch Starry. The sharp saber light slashed down with overwhelming force. "You're courting death." Demon Monarch Starry was furious. He suddenly turned around and punched out. Demonic chi rose from his fist, and it contained an immortal luster, making the punch unparalleled. He was trapped by the Zhou Tian star array, but he never thought that Ling Xiao, an ant with only a heavenly venerable cultivation, would dare to attack him. Although the heavenly venerable realm and the imperial emperor realm were only separated by one realm, the difference was like heaven and earth. Not to mention, Demon Monarch Starry had broken through to the imperial emperor realm many years ago. He had long used the power of the origin to temper his body. He had formed an origin body, and his body was immortal. That was why he dared to use his fist to block Ling Xiao's heavenly punishment saber. Gotcha! The heavenly punishment saber and Demon Monarch Starry's fist collided. In an instant, blazing light gushed out. The heavenly punishment saber hummed and trembled, emitting the sound of metal clashing. Demon Monarch Starry's face changed. He felt a terrifying divine power coming from the heavenly punishment saber that he could not resist. It caused his body to tremble violently, and he was suddenly sent flying. Ling Xiao's eyes were cold as he suddenly roared and charged at Demon Monarch Starry again with the heavenly punishment saber. Chapter 2877. Ling Xiao had inherited the lightning imperial scripture and wielded the heavenly punishment saber. Hence, he could unleash the heavenly punishment origin within the heavenly punishment saber. When he swung the saber, it was as if the Milky Way was hanging upside down. The saber radiance was dazzling, and it went straight for the Star Demon Lord's neck. The Star Demon Lord's expression changed, and there was a hint of fear in his eyes. He did not dare to take the terrifying saber essence from the heavenly punishment saber head-on. He could not help but move away from it. The Star Demon Monarch was different from the Samsara Master. He had already understood the origin of the Great Path and used the power of the origin to refine his body, forming the body of origin. His physical body was extremely strong, and normal attacks were useless against him. However, the heavenly punishment saber contained the heavenly punishment origin and was an extreme Dao Emperor weapon. Under Ling Xiao's control, it seemed to be able to destroy everything, and the Star Demon Lord did not dare to take it head-on. Freeze! Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with murderous intent as he suddenly shouted, "Rumble!" The time compass gave off a dazzling light as it rose into the sky and floated above the Star Demon Lord's head. A long river of time spread out and contained the vast power of time. It was like a mysterious time domain that enveloped the Star Demon Lord. The river of time seemed to have solidified, causing the surrounding space to come to a standstill. Furthermore, it was spreading towards Demon Lord Star. "Oh no! This is the time compass?" Ling Xiao. The Star Demon Lord's body shook and his eyes were filled with shock as he exclaimed, "Rumble!" He clearly recognized the time compass and Ling Xiao's identity, but he didn't have time to think too much about it. Blazing divine light rose from his body as a vast emperor's aura erupted, trying to break free from the time compass shackles. "Kill!" Ling Xiao's eyes were extremely cold. It was as if he had no intention of responding to the Star Demon Lord. The heavenly punishment saber once again emitted a dazzling light. As the saber light fell, the surrounding space was annihilated. It was as if a terrifying black hole had appeared, slashing down at the Star Demon Lord. The Lightning Emperor's Void Slash. This was the supreme emperor technique of the Lightning Imperial Scripture. Ling Xiao used both the time compass and the heavenly punishment saber at the same time to kill the Star Demon Monarch as soon as possible. After all, there were 3 demon lords trapped in Zhou Tian's great astral formation, and there were probably other experts spying on them. They had to deal with these 3 demon lords as quickly as possible so as not to affect Jiang Yuyang's breakthrough. Furthermore, Star Demon Monarch was the weakest of the 3 demon monarchs. Even if he was slightly stronger than Samsara Master, it was not by much. Ling Xiao picked a soft persimmon to pinch, wanting to kill Star Fiend Lord first. Scram! The Star Demon Lord roared out as a terrifying demonic light rose from his body. His eyes revealed a hint of madness. He could feel a strong killing intent from Ling Xiao's eyes. At the same time, the time compass and heavenly punishment saber made him feel a fatal threat. His entire body turned cold, and he was both shocked and furious. This legendary Heaven's chosen son actually possessed such horrifying combat strength with only Empyrean realm cultivation? Rumble. It was as though a demonic storm had been stirred up around Demon Monarch Starstar's body. It dispersed some of the surrounding time-stop domain and he struggled to escape. However, the heavenly punishment saber had already descended. Blazing starlight bloomed from the Star Demon Lord's body, and the divine light in his palm was resplendent. The power of the stars instantly condensed into a silver battle spear. It was as clear as crystal, and it met the heavenly punishment saber head-on. The heavenly punishment saber carried an unparalleled saber intent as it swept across the sky and slashed at the silver battle spear. Unsurprisingly, the silver battle spear was cut into two. Surging thunderbolts, containing the vast heavenly Tao's might, slashed at the Star Demon Lord. Blood light bloomed in the void as one of the Star Demon Lord's arms flew across the sky and was chopped off by the heavenly punishment saber. Ling Xiao, you deserve to die. The Star Demon Lord's eyes were filled with frenzied killing intent. Blazing divine light rose around him as his emperor's might gushed out in a mighty manner. Black demonic light swept out in all directions like a storm. Black meteorites appeared in the black demonic light, exuding a heavy and ancient aura. They were mysterious and unfathomable. Myriad Calamity Meteorite, destroy. As the Star Demon Lord roared, the meteorites around him came crashing down on Ling Xiao. The black meteorites gathered together like a black storm. However, each meteorite was incomparably heavy, as if it could shatter everything. They were like mountains that came crashing down on Ling Xiao. Boom! Ling Xiao's eyes were incomparably cold. He slashed with the heavenly punishment saber, and the saber light was dazzling, shattering one of the meteorites. However, the powerful rebounding force within the meteor caused Ling Xiao's arm to feel numb. Even with the heavenly punishment saber, an extreme Tao Emperor weapon, it was extremely difficult for him to cut the meteor apart. This showed how strong and tough the meteor was. Only now did Ling Xiao realize that the meteorites were actually formed from pure star source. Furthermore, they contained star cores, which were both a powerful emperor art and a powerful supreme treasure. The majestic meteors streaked across the sky, as if they wanted to bury Ling Xiao completely within them. I'm afraid you've forgotten that this is the Zhou Tian star array. Ling Xiao said faintly with a mocking look in his eyes. What? The Star Demon Lord's expression changed. Rumble. At that moment, blazing starlight gathered in the surroundings. Divine chains of order rose, as if 360 supreme stars had appeared. At the same time, 360 divine chains of order fell from the sky. They intertwined in the void like a star net, instantly blocking the meteorites. Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with murderous intent. The heavenly punishment saber rose into the sky, accompanied by blazing lightning, and slashed down on the Star Demon Lord. The Star Demon Lord's expression was extremely ugly. The vast star source energy around him exploded. However, he realized that in the Zhou Tian star array, his star source energy was greatly suppressed, causing his combat strength to be greatly reduced. Moreover, what was even more troublesome was that the star net formed by the divine chains of order had not only trapped his meteorites, but it was also coming down on him. Boom, boom, boom. The Star Demon Lord was in an extremely sorry state. He threw out a few punches, and the black fist imprints were unparalleled. They were like stars that swept across the sky. However, the heavenly punishment saber released a sharp saber light. Rays of saber light cut across the void, shattering all of the Star Demon Lord's fist imprints. In the end, the Star Demon Lord was unable to dodge. Behind him was the star net, while in front of him was the heavenly punishment saber. It was as if he had fallen into a desperate situation. Ling Xiao, I'll remember you. The Star Demon Lord's eyes revealed an extremely pained expression. He glared fiercely at Ling Xiao, and a black stone talisman appeared in his palm. It looked simple and mysterious, and dazzling immortal light bloomed from it. Chapter 2878. Rumble. The void in front of Demon Monarch Starry Star seemed to shatter in an instant. The black stone talisman enveloped him, and in an instant, he was about to transform into a beam of immortal light and disappear into the grand heavenly cycle stellar array. He was extremely decisive. Not only was he no match for Ling Xiao in this massive heavenly cycle stellar formation, but he was also in danger of dying. Therefore, he decisively activated his treasure in an attempt to escape. It's an immortal talisman? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat and a sharp glint appeared in his eyes. The black stone talisman in the Star Demon Lord's hand was surrounded by bright immortal light and exuded a mysterious and powerful immortal aura. It was very similar to the immortal talisman in Taoist Wu Yang's hand, so Ling Xiao recognized it at a glance. How could the Star Demon Lord have an immortal talisman? Could it be that the Devil Clan and the Immortal Clan were in cahoots? Want to leave? Hee, Star Demon Lord, you'd better stay here. At the same time, the sloppy Emperor's voice rang in the void with a hint of mockery. An earth-shattering dragon roar rang out, causing the surrounding space to tremble in an instant. Billions of streaks of starlight gathered, forming a colossal starry dragon that was billions of kilometers long. It radiated with a vast and terrifying dragon might, as if the immemorial ancestral dragon had awakened. It tore through the layers of space, and with a swing of its huge tail, it struck the barrier of immortal light around Demon Lord Star Demon. The Star Demon Lord's body trembled violently. The immortal light barrier and the black stone talisman in his hand shattered at the same time. He was pulled back into the Zhou Tian star formation by the giant star dragon. Kill! Murderous intent flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes, and he instantly seized this rare opportunity. Blazing lightning rose around him, and the heavenly punishment blade slashed down. At this moment, the Star Demon Lord was pulled back, and he was flying in the direction of Ling Xiao. At the same time, there were divine chains of orders surrounding the Star Demon Lord. It was the power of the Zhou Tian star formation that the sloppy Emperor had activated. It temporarily trapped the Star Demon Lord and exposed him to Ling Xiao's blade. No! The Star Demon Lord roared out as his eyes were filled with indignation. With a flash of blood-red light in the void, the heavenly punishment saber slashed down from the sky, chopping off his head. Rumble! Blazing lightning rose as the vast heavenly punishment origin within the heavenly punishment saber charged towards the Starry Demon Lord's primordial spirit. At the same time, the time compass spun as it descended from the sky. The vast time domain once again pressed down, directly suppressing the Star Demon Lord's physical body. Even though Demon Monarch Starry Demon had been beheaded by the heavenly punishment blade and was heavily injured, he was still an imperial monarch after all. Not only had his fleshly body condensed into an origin body, his primordial spirit had also formed an indestructible primordial spirit. It wasn't so easy to annihilate an imperial monarch. However, with the suppression of the heavenly punishment saber and the time compass, these two apex emperor armaments, the Star Demon Monarch's indestructible primordial spirit was unable to even charge out of his sea of consciousness. Swallow! Ling Xiao's eyes were extremely cold. He leaped forward and slammed his palm on the Star Demon Lord's body. A vast devouring power erupted from his palm. He had activated the heaven-devouring secret skill to the extreme. A vast heaven-devouring sacred domain appeared around him and enveloped the Star Demon Lord's body. The Star Demon Lord had condensed his origin body. His physical body was formed from the pure star origin and contained a vast amount of origin energy. It had been completely crystallized and was a supreme treasure. A drop of his blood was comparable to a powerful sage elixir and could allow a sage's cultivation to improve greatly. His indestructible primordial spirit contained a powerful primordial spirit power and even contained his comprehension of the star origin. Ling Xiao intended to refine the Star Demon Lord directly. Even though the Star Demon Lord was heavily injured, it wouldn't be difficult for him to recover. Instead of suppressing him, it was better to kill him completely to prevent future troubles. Furthermore, Ling Zhao's cultivation was only at the heavenly venerate realm. Using both the chronological compass and the heavenly punishment blade at the same time was quite a burden on him. Devouring the Star Demon Lord would not only restore Ling Zhao's energy, it would also allow his cultivation to improve by leaps and bounds. Ling Zhao had a premonition that there would be a fierce battle today. Therefore, using battle to nurture battle was the best method. Rumble. As if it had sensed the Star Demon Lord's vast origin energy, even the wordless heavenly book that had merged with Ling Zhao's body emitted a strong desire. With the support of the wordless heavenly book, the speed at which Ling Zhao devoured the Star Demon Lord instantly increased by 100 times. The Star Demon Lord's flesh and blood was being devoured by Ling Zhao at a speed visible to the naked eye. It turned into vast origin energy and fused into Ling Zhao's body. As for the Star Demon Lord's body, it rapidly shriveled up. Even though his indestructible primordial spirit had been suppressed by the wordless heavenly book, it sensed that Ling Zhao wanted to devour and refine him. Instantly, his soul left his body and he could not help but beg for mercy. However, Ling Zhao was unmoved. He continued to devour the Star Demon Lord's flesh and blood. In the end, the Star Demon Lord even began to feel despair. He began to curse Ling Zhao with incomparable viciousness. Rumble. Ling Zhao's expression was indifferent and calm. His body emitted a purple glow. The devouring sacred domain spread out mightily. Like 100 rivers returning to the stream, it completely devoured the Star Demon Lord's body. As for the Star Demon Lord's indestructible primordial spirit, it could not withstand it in the end. Its consciousness was wiped away by Ling Zhao. It turned into boundless primordial spirit energy and fused into Ling Zhao's primordial spirit. Ling Zhao's entire body spewed out blazing light. His body was filled with boundless energy. The vast star origin surged, giving him a slight understanding of the star origin that the Star Demon Lord had comprehended. The trace of star origin was like a seed that fused into Ling Zhao's body, waiting for the day it took root and germinated. Ling Zhao had devoured an emperor. Brat, you actually devoured the Star Demon Lord. The Sun Demon Lord and the Moon Demon Lord have already sensed the death of the Star Demon Lord and have begun to go crazy. Quickly go and kill the two of them. Don't let them affect Jiang Yuyang's tribulation. The sloppy emperor's voice was filled with amazement as it entered Ling Zhao's mind. Even with the Zhou Tian Great Star Formation and the Extreme Dao Emperor weapon, the sloppy emperor was incomparably amazed that Ling Zhao had defeated and even devoured the Star Demon Lord. He had already sensed that Ling Zhao's cultivation aura was becoming increasingly unfathomable and his accumulation was becoming more and more robust. At this rate, Ling Zhao would not be able to stay in the heavenly venerate realm for long. One had to know that although the heavenly venerate realm and the emperor realm were only separated by one realm, it was like the difference between heaven and earth. Countless heavenly venerate experts were trapped in the same place, unable to break through to the emperor realm for the rest of their lives. In order to take that final step, not only did one have to comprehend the great Tao origin, one also had to have an incomparably robust accumulation. Otherwise, one would not even be able to pass the emperor tribulation and would be reduced to ashes in the end. Chapter 2879. Demonic Lord Sun and Demonic Lord Moon? If I devour the two of them, I might be able to reach the peak of the heavenly venerable realm. Ling Zhao licked his lips as a sharp glint flashed across his eyes. The Star Demon Lord's body and indestructible soul were supreme nourishment to Ling Zhao. He had reaped even greater benefits than refining 100 billion origin pills. Not only had it replenished what he had lost, but it had also allowed his body and soul to swell by a large amount as well. Ling Zhao's body was filled with explosive energy and he urgently needed a huge battle to vent it out. Rumble. Under the sloppy Emperor Lord's control, the stars shook, the sun and the moon turned upside down, and the void changed. A figure with a monstrous aura appeared in front of Ling Zhao. It was a young man in a black robe. His body was shrouded in black flames. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes were cold. He was emitting a monstrous killing intent. Demonic Lord Sun. Demonic Lord Sun's strength was unfathomable. Even the sloppy Emperor Lord felt great pressure. Zhou Tian's great star formation was almost unable to suppress him. Originally, the sloppy Emperor Lord wanted Ling Xiao to deal with Demonic Lord Moon first before dealing with Demonic Lord Sunday. However, he had no choice but to deal with Demonic Lord Sun first. You killed my third brother? You deserve to die. Demonic Lord Sun's eyes were filled with monstrous killing intent. It was cruel and bloodthirsty. It was as if two black suns were rising from his eyes. Although the three demonic lords had mistakenly entered Zhou Tian's great star formation and were isolated by the sloppy Emperor Lord's supreme Emperor formation, Demonic Lord Sun still sensed the death of Demonic Lord Star. His heart was filled with grief, but at the same time, monstrous killing intent surged. That's right. I killed Demonic Lord Star. Next, I will send you to reunite with your third brother. You three demonic lords have killed many experts of the human race over the years. Today, you will pay with your lives. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. However, his smile was incomparably cold. The three demon kings, Sun, Moon, and Star, could be said to be the vanguard of the demon clan's invasion of the divine world. Over the years, they had been stained with the blood of countless human experts in the extraterritorial battlefield. Even the sloppy emperor had fought with them before. Ling Xiao had also heard of the Sun, Moon, and Star demon lords. If he could get rid of the three demon lords here, it would be a good thing for the human race. Arrogant. Do you really think that you can fight me just because you have the Zhou Tian star array? Ant-like thing, you will never understand how big the gap between you and me is. Demon Monarch Day said coldly, and a vast and blazing storm of demonic light erupted from his body. Rumble. There seemed to be a black sun rising behind Demon Monarch Day, exuding a terrifying demonic light that contained the aura of darkness, evil, calamity, and destruction. Black Sun Calamity. Following Demon Monarch Day's roar, the black sun pressed down on Ling Xiao in an instant. The surrounding void began to distort. Much of the power of the stars in the Zhou Tian star array was swallowed by the black sun. The black storm surged as if it was going to devour all living beings. Kill! Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with battle intent as he charged towards Demon Monarch Day with the heavenly punishment blade in his hand. Rumble! Blazing lightning rose around him, causing the void all around him to tremble violently. The power of the origin of thunder spread out, forming a sea of thunder. Thunder dragons roared, and thunder giants rose into the sky, evolving into many thunder creatures. Behind Ling Xiao, a terrifying figure appeared. Bathed in lightning, it was like the true body of the Lightning Emperor, exuding a vast heavenly might. Lightning was originally the power of Yang and could destroy all evil and darkness. It had a natural suppressive effect on the experts of the demon clan. Facing Demon Monarch Day's Black Sun Calamity, Ling Xiao did not hesitate to activate the Lightning Emperor scripture and use the Heavenly Punishment Blade. Ling Xiao could sense that Demonic Monarch Day was much stronger than Demonic Monarch Star. Although the Great Heavenly Stellar Array had trapped him, it had little effect on him. However, this was also because Sloppy Monarch was using all his strength to activate the Emperor Array, wanting to finish off Moon Demon Monarch. Rumble! The Black Sun Calamity clashed with the Sea of Lightning, creating an earth-shattering divine light fluctuation. The scene was incomparably terrifying. Ling Xiao and Demon Monarch Day crisscrossed in the void, clashing over 100 times in an instant. Blazing saber lights exploded, causing the blood of both of them to churn. They were shocked. He's at least a second heavenly layer monarch, maybe even a third heavenly layer. Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with battle intent as he thought to himself. Demon Monarch Day was incomparably powerful. He could actually withstand Ling Xiao's heavenly punishment blade with his bare hands. Moreover, the Black Sun Calamity did not seem to be afraid of the lightning origin. He was evenly matched with Ling Xiao. Demon Monarch Day was also incomparably shocked. Ling Xiao's cultivation was only at the heavenly venerable realm, but he was able to erupt with such powerful battle strength. He was no weaker than an Emperor realm expert. Was this the potential of the heaven's chosen child? The greater the potential Ling Xiao displayed, the greater the killing intent in Demon Monarch Day's heart. Rumble. The battle between Ling Xiao and Demon Monarch Day became more and more intense. Every move was aimed at the opponent's vital points. At this moment, outside Zhou Tian's star array, several figures with incomparably powerful auras appeared. There were both men and women. Their eyes were cold and filled with killing intent as they stared at Zhou Tian's star array and Jiang Yuyang. Terrifying auras erupted from their bodies. It was another few Emperor Realm experts. This time, it was just as the Kunwu Mountain Emperor had said. Jiang Yuyang's tribulation had attracted countless powerful enemies. Regardless of whether it was the demon race or the other races, none of them wished for Jiang Yuyang to succeed in his tribulation. Demon Monarch Day has fallen? Could that heavenly venerable kid be the heaven's chosen child, Ling Xiao? It shouldn't be wrong. He obtained the inheritance of the flowing time great emperor. The thing he used to suppress Demon Monarch Day was the time compass. I didn't expect this. It's really a case of searching high and low only to find it by chance. Today, we'll get rid of Ling Xiao and Jiang Yuyang once and for all. That's right. Ling Xiao's talent is too terrifying. Perhaps he's already comparable to the former heavenly emperor. The human race must not produce another heavenly emperor. The massive heavenly cycle stellar array erupted. Although it enveloped the entire star, everything that happened within was still seen by the few imperial emperors. All of them were filled with killing intent. Rumble. Right at this moment, blazing divine light rose from Jiang Yuyang's body. That ancient and mysterious chaotic world slowly returned to his body. Divine light gushed out from his body, and auspicious qi coiled around him. Dazzling and resplendent runes interweaved together, causing his aura to rise explosively once again. He had survived the origin tribulation without a single scratch. Next, only the inner demon tribulation was left. As long as he passed it, Jiang Yuyang would become a true Emperor Realm expert. Chapter 2880. Seeing that Jiang Yuyang had passed the heavenly tribulation and origin tribulation, leaving only the inner demon tribulation, Ling Xiao and the sloppy celestial emperor were overjoyed. As long as the Zhou Tian stellar formation could hold on for a while longer, they would be able to return to the divine world after Jiang Yuyang passed the tribulation. However, before that, they still had to kill the 3 demon monarchs. Ling Xiao knew that even though it seemed like only the 3 demon monarchs were attacking, there were still countless celestial emperors hiding outside the Zhou Tian stellar formation, waiting for an opportunity to strike. They had to kill the 3 demon monarchs to intimidate them so that they wouldn't dare to act rashly. Rumble. Jiang Yuyang's body glowed brightly as dazzling lightning circled around him like a divine dragon. All kinds of mysterious phenomena appeared around him. Ling Xiao could see the tremendous origin energy surge and condense around Jiang Yuyang. It surged towards his limbs and bones, beginning to refine his body. This was a sign that the origin energy body was about to condense. Ling Xiao could feel that Jiang Yuyang's aura was getting stronger and stronger. In the end, it was like a tsunami, as if it could destroy everything. A mysterious emperor's aura spread out. At the same time, a black mist appeared around him, forming mysterious scenes of gods and demons, struggling to devour Jiang Yuyang. The divine light around Jiang Yuyang began to recede. His entire person became extremely ordinary. Only the ferocious black mist enveloped Jiang Yuyang. The inner demon tribulation had arrived. Ling Xiao and the sloppy celestial emperor's eyes shone brightly as they charged towards Demon Monarch Day and Moon Demon Monarch. Rumble. Within the massive heavenly cycle stellar matrix, the battle continued. Supreme stars fell from the sky one after another. The vast star origins intertwined with each other, containing an aura that could destroy the world. Within the myriad demon banner, terrifying figures appeared. They were all ancient divine beasts and ferocious beasts. Under the convergence of the star origins, they seemed to have come back to life, and they all charged towards Demon Monarch Day and Moon Demon Monarch. Ling Zhao's heavenly punishment saber emitted a dazzling light, leaving a deep wound on Demon Monarch Day's back. Demon Monarch Day trembled as he was sent flying. The stars seemed to be lit up one by one. In Zhou Tian's star formation, the 360 supreme stars had gathered the vast star source. Above each star, there was an Archean divine beast or a powerful fierce beast phantom. Under the condensation of the star power, they revealed their true forms and erupted with a terrifying aura. The cries of dragons and tigers, as well as the cries of phoenixes, caused the surrounding space to tremble violently. It was as if they could shatter the universe and shatter the heavens. They emitted a ferocious and monstrous aura. The auras of the 360 figures were terrifying to the extreme as they charged towards the Day Demon Monarch and Moon Demon Monarch. Every single one of them had the strength of an imperial emperor. Ling Xiao, quickly kill Demon Monarch Day and Demon Monarch Moon. I can't hold on for much longer. The sloppy monarch's voice sounded in Ling Zhao's mind. He sounded weak and anxious. Evidently, the sloppy emperor had paid an enormous price to unleash such a frightening power from the Zhou Tian Great Star Formation. He would not be able to last for long. Good heavens! Senior Sloppy Emperor has completely lost his temper. Even I can't manifest the true forms of the 360 divine beasts. Ling Xiao exclaimed in his heart. The reason why the massive heavenly cycle stellar formation was known as the number 1 emperor formation of the demon clan was that when the massive heavenly cycle stellar formation had the 10,000 demon banner as the core of the formation, it had gathered the endless fortune of the demon clan. It could condense the strongest 360 divine beast true bodies of the demon clan in countless eras, erupting with destructive power that could annihilate everything. Ling Xiao could see that among the 360 divine beasts, the ancestral dragon, the true phoenix, the black tortoise, the white tiger, and the qilin were all present. In addition, there were legendary divine beasts such as the Taotai, the Kuei cow, the three-legged golden crow, and the golden-winged roc. The overwhelming number of figures made Demon Monarch Day and Moon Demon Monarch's expressions change drastically. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. No! Demon Monarch Day and Moon Demon Monarch roared. Their voices were extremely shrill and their hearts were filled with despair. Rumble! The 360 divine beasts rushed over at the same time. Their terrifying attacks were like a blazing storm that enveloped Demon Monarch Day and Moon Demon Monarch in an instant. Clang! Ling Zhao's eyes were extremely cold. His killing intent was boiling as he held the heavenly punishment saber in his hand and circulated the lightning imperial scripture. Blazing lightning rose around him as the vast might of the heavenly punishment erupted. He swung his saber in the air, sealing off the heavens and earth. He wanted to kill Demon Monarch Day and Moon Demon Monarch. Oh no! Save them! Outside the Zhou Tian Great Star Formation, the powerful figures could not help but tremble. Their eyes were filled with shock as they hurriedly shouted. Rumble! In the void, a vast Extreme Emperor aura erupted from the west. A shuttle-shaped Extreme Emperor weapon swept across the sky. It was as majestic as a mountain. Blazing runes and divine chains of order intertwined with each other. It contained a mysterious fluctuation as it pressed down on the Zhou Tian Great Star Formation. At the same time, a dazzling immortal sword swept across the sky from the east. The sword light illuminated the 10 boundaries. Vast sword intent rose, containing the divine might of the sword Tao that could destroy everything. Endless ghostly wails and howls could be heard from the north. Chilly winds blew and ghostly chi filled the air. A black skull the size of a mountain swept across the sky, shrouded in black willow, the wisp. It also pressed down on the Zhou Tian Great Star Formation. Is that the limitless formation-breaking shuttle from the demon world? There's also the immortal world's immortal slaying sword and the underworld's silent burning skeleton. 3 extreme emperor weapons have arrived. Especially the limitless formation-breaking shuttle. It will definitely be able to break this supreme emperor formation. Everyone, let's attack together and kill Jiang Yuyang, Ling Xiao, and the sloppy monarch. Kill. Outside the Zhou-Tian Great Star Formation, the eyes of the few figures with terrifying auras lit up. Without any hesitation, they instantly swept across the sky and charged towards the Zhou-Tian Great Star Formation. Rumble! The three extreme Emperor weapons swept across the sky and arrived first. They unleashed an unparalleled extreme Emperor aura and instantly collided with the Zhou-Tian Great Star Formation. The Zhou-Tian Great Star Formation shook violently and let out a loud rumble. The limitless formation breaking shuttle, in particular, seemed to be able to break open the heavens. It contained a great destructive force and instantly pierced through the layers of space of the Zhou-Tian Great Star Formation. It actually charged into the formation and shot towards Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao, be careful. The sloppy monarch spat out a mouthful of blood and roared at Ling Xiao. Peek! Chapter 2881. Although the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons did not completely break through the Zhou-Tian star array, it still put a lot of pressure on the sloppy Emperor. He was already burdened by forcefully activating the true bodies of the 360 divine beasts. At this moment, due to the terrifying destructive power of the infinite formation-breaking shuttle, he instantly suffered the backlash of the formation and was injured by the origin of the great Dao. Dao injuries were the most difficult to heal in the first place. At this moment, the sloppy Emperor could barely use the 10,000 demon banner to activate the great heavenly cycle stellar formation to block the Luzhu Xian sword and the burning solitude skeleton. However, he was unable to stop the infinite formation-breaking shuttle. He could only watch as the infinite formation-breaking shuttle charged towards Ling Xiao. Rumble! Within the Zhou-Tian star array, Demon Lord Sun and Moon Demon Lord had suffered unimaginable injuries and were on the brink of death. The 360 divine beasts unleashed an attack that was comparable to the Imperial Emperor realm. They charged towards the two of them at the same time. Even though the two Imperial Emperors were extremely powerful, they were still severely injured in an instant. Just as Ling Xiao held the heavenly punishment sword and was about to kill Demon Lord Sun and Moon Demon Lord, he felt a sense of danger behind him. Gotcha! Ling Xiao did not hesitate and slashed the heavenly punishment sword behind him. The sword radiance released millions of lightning rays and collided violently with the infinite formation-breaking shuttle. The collision of the two extreme Dao Emperor weapons triggered a dazzling extreme Dao Emperor aura, causing the Zhou-Tian star array to shake violently as if it was going to shatter at any time. Ling Xiao was also pushed back by the backlash. His blood and qi were in turmoil as if he had collided with an immemorial divine mountain. The Zhou-Tian star array was severely injured under the attack from both inside and outside, especially the infinite formation-breaking shuttle. When it entered the Zhou-Tian star array, the array space was destroyed inch by inch as if it was going to collapse at any time. The sloppy Emperor could not do anything by himself. Let's go! Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord seized the opportunity to see the cracks in Zhou-Tian's grand array of stars. At the same time, they also saw the powerful figures coming from outside. They were overjoyed. Initially, they were already in despair. However, to their surprise, the three great imperial weapons appeared at the critical moment and almost broke through the Zhou-Tian star formation, saving their lives. You want to leave? Freeze! Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with killing intent. The time compass flew out of his body and shone with a dazzling light. A vast river of time flowed through the void, forming a time domain. He wanted to lock down the two demon monarchs on the spot. Boom! Meanwhile, Ling Xiao soared through the sky and attacked. His blazing fist emitted an unparalleled light. Purple qi spread out for 30,000 miles. The light of primal chaos rose. The scene of the birth and death of an epoch appeared once again. Ling Xiao activated his primordial immortal body and unleashed his strongest epic fist. Ling Xiao, how dare you? At that moment, the figures outside Zhou-Tian's grand array of stars appeared. There were a total of 6 imperial emperors. Each of their auras was terrifying and their eyes were cold. They soared through the sky and attacked, trying to break through the time domain formed by the time compass and save Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord. Those who block me shall die. Ling Xiao growled. The killing intent in his eyes surged like the ocean. The heavenly might was like a prison, and the monument instantly shot across the sky like a mountain, pressing down mightily. It was like a hell, blocking the 6 great emperors' path. Using the heavenly punishment saber, the time compass, and the heaven's might prison steel at the same time seemed to have reached Ling Xiao's limit. The vast origin energy that he had accumulated from devouring Star Demon Lord was rapidly being consumed. It turned into powerful energy and poured into the 3 great imperial weapons. At the same time, they shone with dazzling light. Rumble! Ling Xiao's figure was extremely fast. In an instant, he was behind Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord. The epic fist destroyed everything and pierced through Day Demon Lord's chest. Moreover, it did not slow down and pierced through Moon Demon Lord. Blood-red light filled the air. Demon Lord Sun and Demon Lord Moon were trembling. Their eyes were filled with despair as they let out unwilling roars of rage. No! Rumble! Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord's terrifying Emperor aura filled the air. Their origin energy intertwined and a terrifying aura spread out like a volcanic eruption. Both of them felt the threat of death looming over them. They were no match for Ling Xiao, but they were unwilling to die in Ling Xiao's hands. Self-destruction. If they were going to die, they would die together. Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord crazily activated the origin energy in their bodies. Even their indestructible primordial spirits began to burn. They wanted to self-destruct and die together with Ling Xiao. You want to die? You can't even die. You'd better become a part of me. Ling Xiao's cold voice rang out. In an instant, Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord felt as if they had fallen into an abyss. Rumble! Ling Xiao's body erupted with a mighty devouring power. At the same time, the power of the wordless heavenly book flowed through Ling Xiao's arm into Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord's bodies. It instantly destroyed the self-destruction aura and imprisoned them. Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord trembled. They felt as if they were fish on a chopping board. They could no longer control their own lives. They could only watch helplessly as Ling Xiao used the secret devouring technique. Then, the origin energy of their flesh and blood, as well as the power of their indestructible primordial spirit, surged into Ling Xiao's body. In the void, the power of lightning intertwined. The heavenly punishment saber blocked the destructive limitless formation breaking shuttle, while the heavenly might prison steel blocked the strongest attack of the 6 imperial emperors. It rumbled and trembled. However, Ling Xiao's aura skyrocketed in an instant. As he devoured Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord, the mighty origin energy gathered in Ling Xiao's body. It was like a raging river. Ling Xiao felt that his body was filled with boundless energy. At this moment, he was using 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons at the same time. He didn't feel like his energy was about to be depleted. Damn it! The expressions of the 6 imperial emperors turned extremely ugly. Their eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Even though they attacked together, they couldn't stop Ling Xiao. Day Demon Lord and Moon Demon Lord had died in Ling Xiao's hands. The 3 great demon monarchs, Sun, Moon, and Star, were extremely famous in the demon world. They had killed countless human powerhouses in the foreign battlefields, but now they had been slaughtered by a human Empyrean powerhouse. Do you all want to die? Ling Xiao stared at the 6 imperial emperors in front of him. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. His voice boomed like thunder in the void. Chapter 2882. Rumble. The massive heavenly cycle stellar formation trembled violently. Under the pincer attack from both inside and outside, the 3 Supreme Emperor weapons, and the sloppy Monarch Emperor's exhaustion, the formation shattered into pieces. The sloppy Emperor Lord held the 10,000 demons banner, but his face was extremely pale. His hair was stained with blood, but his eyes were extremely bright. This is great. The Sun, Moon, and Star Demon Lords are dead. Who dares to be impudent? The sloppy Emperor Lord held the 10,000 demons banner and stood beside Ling Xiao. He looked at the 6 emperors in front of him, and his eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. Behind them was Jiang Yuyang, who was undergoing the inner demon tribulation. In the void, the infinite formation-breaking shuttle, the fairy-slaying sword, and the burning silent skeleton were 3 extremely powerful Supreme Emperor weapons. In front of them were the 6 emperors. Their auras were extremely terrifying and their strength was overwhelming. Ling Zhao's heavenly might was like the prison's steel, time compass, and heavenly punishment saber. At that moment, they were also floating in the void and facing the 3 Supreme Emperor weapons. After devouring the sun, moon, and star demon lords, Ling Zhao possessed an endless amount of origin energy. He also temporarily had the strength to use the 3 Supreme Emperor weapons. Although Ling Zhao and the sloppy Emperor Lord seemed to be at a disadvantage, their auras were powerful and their killing intent was overwhelming. Even in the face of the 6 emperors, they were not at a disadvantage. Senior Sloppy, go and protect Senior Jiang Yuyang. Don't let him be disturbed during the inner demon tribulation. Leave the 6 emperors to me. Ling Zhao transmitted his voice to the sloppy Emperor Lord. Although I can't set up the Zhou Tian Grand Constellation formation with the 10,000 Demons banner, it shouldn't be a problem to protect Jiang Yuyang. However, there are 6 emperors and 3 Supreme Emperor weapons here. The owners of the 3 Supreme Emperor weapons are probably hiding in the dark and could attack at any time. Can you really handle it? The sloppy Emperor Lord asked worriedly. In such a situation, even if the sloppy Emperor Lord was at his peak, he would definitely die in front of the powerful enemies in front of him, let alone Ling Zhao. Ling Zhao's cultivation was only at the heavenly venerable realm. The owners of the 3 apex monarch weapons must have been held back by Senior Kunwo. They can only attack from afar. These 6 imperial emperors are merely at the same cultivation level as the sun, moon, and star demon monarchs. Today, I really want to see exactly how strong the Outerium imperial emperors are. Leave it to me, don't worry. Ling Zhao said slowly, his eyes filled with sharpness. Then be careful. The sloppy monarch nodded and instantly retreated to Jiang Yuyang's side with the 10,000 demon banner. The 10,000 demon banner released a bright light that enveloped both him and Jiang Yuyang. The chosen one, Ling Zhao? You only managed to kill sun, moon, and star by relying on the power of the formation. Do you really think you can fight against an imperial emperor? Today, this is where the 3 of you will be buried. A black-armored demon emperor who was enveloped in demonic light said coldly. His eyes were filled with rage and killing intent. The death of the sun, moon, and star demon monarchs made him feel like a fox mourning the death of a rabbit. He gritted his teeth and hated Ling Zhao to the extreme. You can try, Ling Zhao said with a cold smile. His blade-like eyes swept across the 6 imperial emperors in front of him. There were 4 imperial emperors from the demon race, the immortal race, the underworld race, and the zombie race. There were also 2 imperial emperors who Ling Zhao couldn't tell which race they were from. However, Ling Zhao would remember these 4 races. One day, he would definitely repay them 100 times over. This time, it was obvious that the demon race was leading the attack on Jiang Yuyang. The demon race had sent a total of 4 imperial monarchs. However, the 3 imperial monarchs, sun, moon, and star, who were the vanguard, were unlucky and fell into the massive heavenly cycle stellar formation. In the end, they were killed by Ling Zhao. However, the deaths of the sun, moon, and star demon monarchs also caused the collapse of Zhou Tian's great star formation. This made the 6 imperial emperors have no more worries. 3 brothers, follow me to kill Ling Zhao. The other 2 brothers, please kill Sloppy and Jiang Yuyang. The demon race's imperial emperor said coldly. Without any hesitation, he instantly charged towards Ling Zhao. The 3 imperial emperors from the immortal race, the underworld race, and the zombie race also charged towards Ling Zhao at the same time. The other 2 imperial emperors charged towards Sloppy and Jiang Yuyang. This time, they had come to kill Jiang Yuyang. It was a pleasant surprise to meet Ling Zhao. In particular, the demonic combat strength that Ling Zhao had displayed made them want to kill him. The human race definitely couldn't have another heavenly emperor. Therefore, Ling Xiao was even more important to them than Jiang Yuyang. Today, even if they didn't kill Jiang Yuyang, they had to kill Ling Xiao. Rumble. In the void, the 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons were also ready to attack. However, they were blocked by Ling Xiao's Heavenly Punishment Saber, Time Compass, and Heaven's Might. The 6 extreme Dao Emperor weapons fought in the void. Vast extreme Dao Emperor aura intertwined, and the light was vast and dazzling. They intertwined to form a terrifying killing domain that seemed to be able to destroy everything. The 4 imperial emperors charged towards Ling Xiao. Their eyes were cold and they didn't show any mercy when they attacked. Unparalleled emperor aura enveloped the area, causing Ling Xiao to feel extremely pressured. However, there was no trace of fear in Ling Xiao's eyes. His eyes were filled with an unparalleled battle intent, and the blood in his body seemed to be boiling. Every pore on his body opened up, and his powerful battle instincts erupted like a volcano. Blazing purple light spewed out from the pores of Ling Xiao's body. His body seemed to have turned into a glazed color. Purple gas filled the air and rays of light shone brightly. An immortal fluctuation filled the air. The purple light spread out, and even Ling Xiao's eyes and hair were dyed purple. His aura began to rise. "Let's fight!" A thunderous roar exploded from Ling Xiao's mouth. His eyes were extremely sharp. He faced the 4 imperial emperors who were charging towards him and threw out a punch. When this punch was blasted out, it was as if a primeval world had been formed, and it gave birth to the most primeval energy. Its might was terrifying to the extreme. This was actually a supreme way of the fist that was different from the fist of the epic. At this moment, Ling Xiao seemed to have transformed into an ancient sovereign. His fist pierced through the past, present, and future, and contained peerless divine force. This was a fist technique that used strength to prove its Tao. This was the primitive fist. Ling Xiao had refined the primitive heart in the primitive secret realm. In 100 years, he had comprehended a fist technique that was different from the epic fist. He called it the primitive fist. If the epic fist was the Tao of origin that nurtured hundreds of scriptures and merged all techniques, then the primitive fist was the Tao of origin that used strength to prove its Tao. It was an incomparably pure Tao of the physical body. The primitive fist could even unleash the primordial immortal body's divine power. This was the first time Ling Xiao had used the primitive fist. Facing the 4 imperial emperors, the primordial immortal body released the most dazzling light. The void shattered as the vast desolation ancient world enveloped the 4 monarchs. Then, an unparalleled fist imprint exploded. P.S. I drank too much during a social gathering yesterday. Sorry for not updating. This is to make up for yesterday's 3 chapters. There are 3 more chapters tonight. Chapter 2883. Ling Xiao did not choose to dodge. Instead, he unleashed the Chaos Fist and clashed head-on with the 4 imperial emperors. The void shook violently and suddenly became distorted. Blazing divine light gushed out. Ling Xiao and the 4 imperial emperors trembled and were sent flying back at the same time. Kill! Ling Xiao's eyes were cold as the blood energy around him rose. He suddenly roared and unleashed an unparalleled fist intent as he took the initiative to attack. Purple light gushed out from his body. His body was flawless and immortal, mysterious and unfathomable. The primordial immortal body was pushed to the extreme by Ling Xiao's Chaos Fist, causing Ling Xiao to exude a vast heavenly might that was invincible. 3,000 worlds seemed to appear behind Ling Xiao, containing 3,000 great Tao laws. It was vast and unparalleled, encompassing everything. The 3,000 great Tao laws were the foundation of Ling Xiao's Tao. It was also the source of the primordial immortal body's power. This kid's physical body is actually so strong? The 4 imperial emperors' faces were filled with disbelief and shock. Ling Xiao's cultivation was only in the heavenly venerable realm, but Ling Xiao's physical body was unparalleled. It was actually not weaker than their origin bodies. In fact, it was even stronger. Ling Xiao unleashed the Chaos Fist and the power of the primordial immortal body, causing the 4 imperial emperors to feel a lot of pressure. In terms of physical body, who can compare to my zombie tribe? You overestimate yourself. The zombie tribe's imperial emperor's eyes flashed fiercely. His body was filled with a terrifying aura of death. His body emitted a black light and unparalleled divine power as he punched Ling Xiao. The zombie tribe was a tribe formed by the corpses of ancient experts after they died. This tribe was not invisible and jumped out of the myriad worlds. They were immortal and their physical bodies were unparalleled. Even the demon tribe and the demon tribe, who were known for their powerful physical bodies, were slightly inferior to the zombie tribe. Boom! The zombie tribe's imperial emperor's fist intent was vast and unparalleled. It contained an unparalleled ferocious power. In an instant, it collided with Ling Xiao, causing the surrounding void to shake violently. A muffled sound rang out in the void. Ling Xiao felt as if he had punched an ancient divine mountain, and his arm felt slightly numb. However, his fist intent encompassed everything and was vast and boundless. It contained the concept of ancient primordial times. When he punched out, the strength of his physical body increased by several times. Even the imperial emperor of the zombie race was unable to withstand the power of this punch and was sent flying by Ling Xiao's punch. Damn you! The zombie race's sovereign emperor's eyes were cold and filled with monstrous killing intent. There was even a trace of greed in them. As soon as he exchanged blows with Ling Xiao, he immediately felt Ling Xiao's extraordinariness. Ling Xiao's physical body was actually stronger than his despite having a heavenly venerate cultivation base. If they could obtain Ling Xiao's body, they would definitely be able to create an extremely powerful zombie guard. The zombie race's sovereign emperor couldn't help but feel a little tempted. Rumble! His battle intent surged as he charged toward Ling Xiao once again. The zombie race's sovereign emperor looked ferocious with a green face and fangs. His black fingernails were like blades. At this moment, his arm turned into a blazing black blade light and slashed toward Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao raised his fist to meet the attack. When his fist collided with the zombie race's sovereign emperor's arm, there was the sound of metal clashing and sparks flying in all directions. This boy killed the 3 demon monarchs of our demon race, Sun, Moon, and Star. If he breaks through to the Imperial Emperor realm, he will definitely be a greater threat than Jiang Yuyang. He must die. The demon race's sovereign emperor's eyes also revealed a cold killing intent. Black demonic light rose around his body. In an instant, beams of black light interweaved with the power to penetrate everything and shot toward Ling Xiao. Clang. As for the celestial race's sovereign emperor, his hair and beard were all white. He looked like an immortal. His fingers were like swords, and his body released an unparalleled sword intent. When he pointed in the air, an immortal sword instantly traversed hundreds of millions of miles of void and pierced toward Ling Xiao's forehead. Boom! As for the nether race's sovereign emperor, a terrifying storm rose around him. Blazing light burst out from his forehead, and the powerful primordial spirit surged. It was like a vast whirlpool that swept toward Ling Xiao. The whirlpool contained a kind of power that could devour the primordial spirit. It was as if it wanted to pull Ling Xiao's primordial spirit out of his body and devour it completely. The nether race was originally good at cultivating the primordial spirit. Therefore, the nether race's experts in the same realm had extremely powerful primordial spirits. Moreover, their methods were unpredictable and unpredictable, making it impossible to guard against. The 4 sovereign emperors each had their own thoughts. However, after seeing Ling Xiao's powerful potential, they all attacked at the same time. They wanted to kill Ling Xiao completely. Boom! Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with battle intent. There was no trace of fear. Although the 4 sovereign emperors attacked at the same time, it gave him great pressure. However, it also stimulated the unparalleled battle intent in his heart. Boom! Ling Xiao was like a purple lightning bolt. His body was extremely fast, leaving behind afterimages in the void. He dodged the zombie race's sovereign emperor's claw. That claw seemed to want to dig out Ling Xiao's heart. Ling Xiao grabbed the zombie race's sovereign emperor's wrist and kicked out in the air, sending the zombie race's sovereign emperor flying. Black light beams fell from the sky and intertwined into an inescapable net that seemed to be able to penetrate everything. The devil race's sovereign emperor was charging towards Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao could vaguely sense that this devil race's sovereign emperor was an expert from the Dark Devil sect. He cultivated the pure darkness origin. The black light beams could annihilate all flesh and blood. It was domineering and ruthless. Rumble. Ling Xiao used the light and darkness secret skill and the sky-devouring secret skill at the same time. Light and darkness intertwined around his body like a Taiji diagram. At the same time, a vast devouring power erupted. When the black light beams shot towards Ling Xiao, they were converted into the power of light by the light and darkness secret skill. Then Ling Xiao directly swallowed them into his body. He dodged the devil race's sovereign emperor's attack and exposed himself to the nether race's sovereign emperor. Vast and turbulent power of primordial spirit enveloped him. The terrifying vortex seemed to want to pull Ling Xiao's primordial spirit out. The nether race's sovereign emperor's attack was strange and unpredictable. It targeted the primordial spirit directly. If it were anyone else, the nether race's sovereign emperor would definitely pose the greatest threat. However, Ling Xiao's head had merged with the wordless heavenly book. The primordial spirit in his sea of consciousness sat cross-legged in the void, reflecting the heavens. It was extremely sturdy. The nether race's primordial spirit attack could not cause any damage to Ling Xiao's primordial spirit at all. Boom. On the contrary, Ling Xiao took advantage of the carelessness of the emperor of the nether tribe to throw a punch in the air. The vast, untainted ancient world exploded and directly hit the emperor of the nether tribe, sending him flying. The one who posed the greatest threat to Ling Xiao was the immortal race's sovereign emperor. Bookmark for easier reading. Chapter 2884. The Tao of the immortal sword that the celestial emperor cultivated contained the mysterious origin of the celestial race. The sword light was extremely sharp and could actually cause damage to Ling Xiao's primordial immortal body. Ling Xiao felt a chill all over his body. Swoosh, swoosh, boom, boom, boom. Ling Xiao's fists were like dragons. He instantly threw out hundreds of punches. The primordial fist was ferocious and domineering. It was a supreme fist technique that Ling Xiao created for his primordial immortal body after merging with the primordial heart and using the heavenly emperor's fist as a foundation. Even though Ling Xiao felt that the celestial emperor's Tao of the sword was extremely powerful and posed a great threat to him, Ling Xiao did not dodge. Instead, he raised his fist to meet the attack. Rumble. The fist seal and the sword chi intertwined. Runes appeared in the void and then disappeared, forming a blazing sea of divine light. That incomparably sharp sword chi was completely reduced to dust under Ling Xiao's desolate fist. However, Ling Xiao's fist was also badly mutilated, revealing his purplish gold bones. They looked crystal clear and flowed with immortal energy. Ling Xiao did not even frown. He continued to attack. His fist seal was vast and unparalleled. Facing the four celestial emperors, Ling Xiao's fighting spirit soared. He became braver and braver as he fought. For a moment, he actually blocked the attacks of the four celestial emperors. On the other side, the sloppy celestial emperor was not so lucky. He had previously set up the Zhou Tian star formation and suffered unimaginable damage and backlash. Even with the 10,000 demon banner in hand, it was still extremely difficult for him to protect Jiang Yuyang from the two celestial emperors. Rumble. The sloppy celestial emperor had already set up a powerful defensive formation around Jiang Yuyang. With the 10,000 demon banner in hand, he charged toward the two celestial emperors. The two imperial emperors were like blood brothers. They had a tacit understanding of each other. What they used was a set of incomparably mysterious yin-yang saber techniques. They were yin and yang, and they complemented each other, causing their strength to multiply. Even though the sloppy imperial monarch had the myriad demon banner in his possession, he still instantly fell into a disadvantaged position when facing two imperial monarchs. The battle between the sovereign emperors was as fast as lightning. In an instant, the battle was extremely intense. After the sloppy imperial monarch and the two imperial monarchs fought over 100 rounds, the sloppy imperial monarch's strength was slightly lacking, and he started to be surrounded by danger. As for the two imperial emperors, they were fighting the sloppy imperial emperor while attacking the formation that the sloppy imperial emperor had set up. They wanted to break through the grand formation and kill Jiang Yuyang, who was within it. Jiang Yuyang, hurry up and get through the inner demon tribulation. I'm afraid Ling Xiao and I won't be able to hold on for long. The sloppy monarch thought to himself anxiously. He was going all out now, but he was still suppressed by the two imperial emperors. He had originally attained the Tao through formations and had extremely high attainments in the path of formations. However, the backlash from the Zhou Tian star formation had reduced his strength to less than 10%. Otherwise, even if he wasn't a match for the two imperial emperors, it wouldn't be difficult for him to keep the two imperial emperors outside the grand formation. A deep saber wound was left on the sloppy imperial monarch's back, causing his entire body to tremble. He couldn't help but cough out a mouthful of blood. The sloppy imperial monarch felt extremely aggrieved. The peerless emperor's might contained within the myriad demon banner wasn't something that he could activate at the moment. Otherwise, how could the two imperial emperors dare to be so fearless? The sloppy imperial monarch began to fight with his life. He was even prepared to burn his origin energy in exchange for powerful strength to block the two imperial monarchs. Ling Xiao also noticed the sloppy imperial monarch's state and felt a little anxious. However, he couldn't even protect himself at this moment. Under the attacks of the four imperial emperors, Ling Xiao could only barely hold on. He couldn't split himself and was unable to rescue the sloppy imperial monarch. The current plan is to kill an imperial emperor first and break the balance first. Only then will I have the chance to rescue Senior Sloppy and Senior Jiang Yuyang. Ling Xiao thought to himself as a bright light flashed in his eyes. If this continued, he might be able to barely hold on under the attacks of the four imperial emperors. However, the sloppy imperial monarch would probably not be able to hold on. Once the sloppy imperial monarch couldn't hold on, Jiang Yuyang would definitely die. Jiang Yuyang was currently undergoing the inner demon tribulation and couldn't sense anything outside. His entire body was enveloped by the inner demon. This was also the most crucial tribulation. After overcoming it, he would naturally become a true imperial emperor. If he couldn't, he would be devoured by the inner demon and die. Demon imperial emperor, looks like I can only start with you. Ling Zhao's gaze landed on the demon imperial emperor. Without any hesitation, he instantly threw a punch at the demon imperial emperor. Among the four imperial emperors, the immortal imperial emperor's sword Dao was unparalleled and caused a lot of trouble for Ling Xiao. The zombie imperial emperor's body was unparalleled. It wasn't that easy for Ling Xiao to break his tortoise shell. Although the Nether Imperial Emperor's primordial spirit attack was ineffective against Ling Xiao, he could travel through the void. His methods were strange and impossible to guard against. It wasn't that easy for Ling Xiao to kill the Nether Imperial Emperor. Only the Demon Imperial Emperor's darkness origin was restrained by Ling Xiao's light and darkness secret technique. Furthermore, the Demon Imperial Emperor's body wasn't strong. Ling Xiao had a direct understanding of the Demon Imperial Emperor's combat strength after fighting with the three Demon Imperial Emperors. Most importantly, Ling Xiao found out the location of the life gate to cultivate the darkness origin from darkness Ling Xiao. Once he used his lightning-fast methods, the one most likely to be killed was the Demon Imperial Emperor. After Ling Xiao made up his mind, his attacks became even more frenzied. That's right, frenzied. At this moment, Ling Xiao was fighting as if he was going to perish together with his opponents. He actually gave up all his defensive methods. His fists were like dragons that constantly bombarded the four imperial emperors. Not only was the Chaos Fist a physical fist, but it also contained the Chaos Origin energy that could destroy everything. Its power was unparalleled. Even though the zombie Imperial Emperor's body was so abnormal, it was still slightly inferior to Ling Xiao's. The 4 Imperial Emperors weren't used to Ling Xiao's frenzied fighting style. Apart from the zombie Imperial Emperor, who could still fight Ling Xiao head-on, the other 3 Imperial Emperors didn't dare to take the brunt of Ling Xiao's attacks head-on. They constantly dodged Ling Xiao's unparalleled fist imprints. The 4 Imperial Emperors became more and more shocked as the battle went on. Ling Xiao, who was at the Heavenly Venerate realm, could actually fight against 4 Imperial Emperors alone. How terrifying would Ling Xiao be if he broke through to the Imperial Emperor realm? Ling Xiao gave up on defense. However, his primordial immortal body was incomparably sturdy and indestructible. Even if he took a blow from an Imperial Emperor head-on, he wouldn't die. Chapter 2885. At this moment, the 4 Imperial Emperors were a little hesitant. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent as their majestic Emperor aura rose. At the same time, a powerful origin energy erupted. The 4 Imperial Emperors executed their supreme Emperor techniques and unleashed their strongest attacks, wanting to kill Ling Xiao directly. Boom! Suddenly, Ling Xiao gave up on the demon race, nether race, and zombie race Imperial Emperors and charged towards the celestial race Imperial Emperors. Heavenly Emperor Prison Suppression Technique. Ling Xiao roared as a bright light rose around him. The shadow of a great emperor appeared as though it was going to suppress hell and sweep across the heavens. Ling Xiao slammed his palm towards the celestial race Imperial Emperors. The palm print was as vast as hell, trying to suppress the celestial race Imperial Emperors. You're courting death. The celestial race Imperial Emperors were enraged as murderous intent surged in their eyes. A blazing immortal sword bloomed and shot towards Ling Xiao's forehead. However, Ling Xiao ignored it as though he did not care about the immortal sword at all. Without any defense, he closed the distance between him and the celestial race Imperial Emperors at lightning speed. Blood radiated from Ling Xiao's forehead, but it seemed to be blocked by something. The immortal sword did not pierce through Ling Xiao's forehead. It only made Ling Xiao tremble as he coughed out a few mouthfuls of blood. At the same time, Ling Xiao charged towards the celestial race Imperial Emperors. His unparalleled fist print forced the celestial race Imperial Emperors to retreat. When the huge palm print landed, it was as though an ancient great emperor was suppressing the heavens. The celestial race Imperial Emperors could not help but change their expressions. The demon race Imperial Emperors, nether race Imperial Emperors, and zombie race Imperial Emperors could not help but change their expressions. They could feel the resolute murderous intent in Ling Xiao's heart and immediately rushed forward to help the celestial race Imperial Emperors. If Ling Xiao really killed the celestial race Imperial Emperors right under their noses, they would become complete laughingstocks. Moreover, the 4 Imperial Emperors had joined forces to gain the upper hand and suppress Ling Xiao. They could not let this situation be broken by Ling Xiao. Rumble. The demon race's Imperial Lord released a vast darkness origin that surged over like a black sea. A black and white beam of light shot out from the eyes of the underworld monarch. Like a divine chain of order, it silently pierced through the void and wrapped around Ling Xiao. The eyes of the Imperial Emperor of the zombie clan were filled with cruelty. His attack was extremely simple and violent. A huge fist blasted out. In an instant, tens of thousands of fist imprints fell and enveloped Ling Xiao. Rumble. Crack. Ling Xiao's palm instantly shattered, and the immortal sword slashed down from the sky, leaving deep bloody wounds on Ling Xiao's body. Ling Xiao's body instantly became a bloody mess, and he coughed up blood and retreated. You don't know your limits. The celestial race's celestial emperor sneered, his eyes cold beyond compare. At this moment, the Imperial Emperor of the underworld race charged over. The black and white divine chain of order wrapped around Ling Xiao's body. At the same time, the Imperial Emperor of the zombie clan's celestial race punched Ling Xiao's body. Ling Xiao's entire body shook violently while blood sprayed from his mouth, and his aura instantly became dispirited. Even though his body was peerlessly strong, he was still blasted flying by the ferocious attacks of the corpse race imperial monarchs. And the direction Ling Xiao was sent flying was where the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan was. "Ling Xiao, you can die now." The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan sneered. He grabbed the air and grabbed Ling Xiao in his palm. At the same time, the vast darkness origin surged and drowned Ling Xiao. The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan wanted to turn Ling Xiao into a part of the darkness origin. Then he could directly devour Ling Xiao's flesh and primordial spirit. He could even devour the heavenly Dao Qi in Ling Xiao's body. Rumble. Just as the vast darkness origin in the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's body enveloped Ling Xiao, an extremely terrifying devouring power erupted from Ling Xiao's body. The secret skill of light and darkness was activated by Ling Xiao. A mysterious Taiji image seemed to form around Ling Xiao's body. Light and darkness intertwined and transformed at the same time. That boundless darkness origin turned into a majestic origin energy in an instant and was swallowed into Ling Xiao's body. There was no trace of panic in Ling Xiao's eyes. There was only a strong sense of mockery. Oh no! The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's heart skipped a beat. He immediately felt that something was wrong. Divine light spewed out of his palm, and he instantly wanted to send Ling Xiao flying. "It's too late." Ling Xiao sneered. In an instant he pointed in the air and activated the Sutra of Time. A mysterious river of time swept across the sky and suppressed the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan. The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan trembled. His entire body seemed to have stopped, and he was instantly unable to move. However, with the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's cultivation, Ling Xiao's Sutra of Time could only trap him for a breath's time. However, a breath's time was more than enough. Ling Xiao formed a seal with his hands. The power of light and darkness intertwined and instantly turned into a strange black and white ball of light. Then, Ling Xiao slapped it into the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's forehead without hesitation. "Oh no! Quickly stop Ling Xiao!" The three imperial emperors reacted at this moment. All of them were filled with murderous aura, and they wanted to save the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan. However, it was too late. The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. The black and white ball of light suddenly emitted endless light. The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's indestructible primordial spirit seemed to burn and exploded into a pile of ashes. The imperial emperor of the Devil Clan actually died in an instant, leaving only an empty physical body. Ling Xiao did not hesitate at all. His speed was extremely fast as he grabbed the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's corpse. As he used the secret skill of devouring, he began to devour the majestic flesh and blood source of the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's body. At the same time, he rushed out of the encirclement in the direction of the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan and charged towards the two imperial emperors who were besieging the sloppy imperial emperor. Damn it! How did he do it? The Immortal Clan's imperial emperor, the Nether Clan's imperial emperor, and the Zombie Clan's imperial emperor's expressions were extremely ugly. Their eyes were filled with incomparable shock. Ling Xiao's attack was too strange. He used the Sutra of Time to cast the time domain and imprison the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan for a breath's time. Then, a strange ball of light burned the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan's indestructible primordial spirit into ashes? Wasn't this too much of a joke? What they did not know was that after Ling Xiao realized that the imperial emperor of the Devil Clan was from the Dark Demon sect, he had already thought of a way to deal with him. The darkness origin that the Dark Demon sect cultivated was incompatible with the light origin. Without the secret skill of light and darkness, it was impossible to comprehend the power of the fusion of light and darkness. Ling Xiao found out the location of the life gate of the Dark Demon sect through his clone, Dark Ling Xiao. Then he used the secret skill of light and darkness to condense a ball of fusion power of light and darkness and injected it into the Imperial Emperor of the Devil Clan's life gate. As a result, the Imperial Emperor of the Devil Clan's primordial spirit exploded like adding oil to a raging fire. This kind of death was somewhat inexplicable and incomparably aggrieved. However, it happened in front of the three imperial emperors, causing them to feel a little scared. Zhu Baihua. Chapter 2886. An emperor from the demon race had fallen. In addition to the three demon kings from before, the four demon kings from the demon race had been completely annihilated. Moreover, all of them had died in Ling Zhao's hands. Even the remaining three demon lords were shaken in their hearts. Their expressions were incomparably ugly. For Emperor Realm experts besieged Ling Xiao, but one of them was killed by Ling Xiao instead. They did not even have the chance to save him. It was as if Ling Xiao had slapped them hard in the face. As for the two imperial emperors who were attacking the sloppy emperor, they were extremely shocked at that moment. Especially when they saw Ling Xiao actually break out of the encirclement and charge towards them, they were both shocked and furious. Ling Xiao, you deserve to die. The two imperial emperors roared furiously. However, they felt extremely fearful in their hearts. They did not dare to underestimate Ling Xiao at all. They actually gave up on the sloppy imperial emperor and charged towards Ling Xiao. Rumble. The void shook as Ling Xiao's chaos fist and epic fist collided. In an instant, the surroundings were filled with chaotic light. It was like a mysterious scene of the creation of heaven and earth. The aura was extremely grand. Ling Xiao and the two imperial monarchs collided head-on, and an unparalleled divine power erupted, blasting the two imperial monarchs away. At that moment, the sloppy emperor could finally heave a sigh of relief. He held the 10,000 demon banner in his hand and instantly returned to the formation around Jiang Yuyang. The younger generation will surpass us in time. From today onwards, Ling Zhao's name will not only shake the god world but also the myriad of worlds. The sloppy emperor sighed and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He was already at the end of his rope and was almost at his limit. If Ling Xiao had not intervened, he would have died in the hands of the two Emperor Realm experts. Ling Xiao had actually killed a demon king despite being besieged by four Emperor Realm experts. He was extremely shocked by such unparalleled fighting power. Ling Xiao must not die. Jiang Yuyang, hurry up and get through the inner demon tribulation. If Ling Xiao dies here, you and I will be sinners of the human race. The sloppy emperor looked at Jiang Yuyang, who was shrouded in black fog, and said slowly. Jiang Yuyang didn't know how long it would take for him to overcome the mental demon tribulation. Ling Xiao and the sloppy emperor lord had bought time for him. The sloppy emperor lord's eyes were filled with determination. He took out a fiery red pill that flowed with a mysterious glow. It contained a vast amount of origin energy, and he swallowed it in a single gulp. Rumble. The aura around his body began to rise, and the injuries in his body began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. His aura became stronger and stronger. He began to heal himself at full speed, wanting to share some of Ling Zhao's burden. No matter what, he couldn't let Ling Xiao die here. At this moment, the other three great imperial emperors had also charged over. The five great imperial emperors gathered together and surrounded Ling Xiao. Their eyes were cold and filled with killing intent. Don't bother about that tortoiseshell Jiang Yuyang. Ling Xiao is more important than Jiang Yuyang. Let's kill Ling Xiao first. The Immortal Tribe's imperial emperor said coldly. The killing intent in his eyes seemed to have materialized. They could feel how monstrous and terrifying Ling Xiao was. With such heaven-defying battle prowess, they could vaguely see that another peerless genius had appeared in the human race, just like the celestial emperor from an epoch ago. The human race must not have another heavenly emperor. At this moment, the five great imperial emperors decided that they had to kill Ling Xiao first no matter what. Kill! The Nether Tribe's imperial emperor and the Zombie Tribe's imperial emperor roared at the same time. Their killing intent surged as they executed powerful emperor techniques and charged towards Ling Xiao. Rumble! The five great imperial emperors attacked at the same time. 5 divine rainbows exploded in the void, and the majestic emperor aura intertwined with each other, surging like the sea. The 5 great imperial emperors didn't hold back at all. They executed their killing moves one after another. In an instant, the starry sky shook, and the sun and moon dimmed. The stars seemed to be on the verge of shattering. The aura was terrifying to the extreme. Ha! So what if all of you attack together? Why should I, Ling Xiao, be afraid? Ling Xiao laughed aloud. His eyes were bright and resplendent. He was fearless as his body radiated with an extremely powerful battle intent. Even though the 5 great imperial emperors had brought great pressure to Ling Xiao, he still didn't have the slightest intention of retreating. Now that the crisis of the sloppy imperial emperor had been resolved, Ling Xiao had no more worries. He could fight to his heart's content. Rumble! Ling Xiao's body emitted a bright purple light. Auspicious vapors rose around him, and lightning flashed. He was like a purple sun that rose majestically. With an unstoppable force, he instantly engaged in a great battle with the 5 great imperial emperors. The originally dark and lonely starry sky seemed to have 6 dazzling suns at this moment. The battle between Ling Xiao and the 5 great imperial emperors was like 6 suns constantly colliding in the void, erupting with shocking divine power. Ling Xiao fought to the point of madness. He used all kinds of techniques. The epic fist and the chaos fist contained his own Tao. It was an immortal path. Although it was only in its embryonic form, the terrifying power that erupted from it still shocked the 5 great imperial emperors. The Heavenly Prison Scripture, the Age and Menstruation Scripture, the Thunder Imperial Scripture, and the 12 Sky Arts were all activated by Ling Xiao. All kinds of supreme secret arts burst forth, as if Ling Xiao was displaying the true will of the great sovereign. Mysterious figures appeared one after another, as if the great sovereign had awakened, providing Ling Xiao with endless power. As for the physical body of the demon race imperial emperor, Ling Xiao directly used the sky-devouring secret skill to devour his flesh and blood to strengthen himself. He replenished what he had consumed and provided Ling Xiao with endless power. However, even so, Ling Xiao was still injured. The 5 great imperial emperors attacked with all their might. They were all experts who had comprehended the great Tao origin and had condensed the indestructible primordial spirit. They could use the great Tao origin to activate supreme emperor techniques and erupt with peerless divine power. However, they still injured Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao fought a bloody battle. His body was dyed red with blood. His face became a little pale, but his eyes were unprecedentedly bright. A heavenly lord fought against 5 great imperial emperors alone. Ling Xiao's name would definitely shine brightly in the world. Rumble! At the same time, a vast formation suddenly soared into the sky, enveloping the surrounding space in an instant. The slovenly imperial emperor held the 10,000 demon banner and flew across the sky. He quickly set up the Zhou Tian star formation. The extraterritorial starry sky was the best place to set up the Zhou Tian star formation. It could quickly absorb the power of the stars in Zhou Tian and erupt with unparalleled power. "You're courting death!" The 5 great imperial emperors roared angrily. Their eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. If they allowed the sloppy imperial emperor to set up the heavenly cycle stellar formation, they would probably be in danger if the 360 divine beasts' true bodies were to appear once more. The Third Sect Master. Chapter 2887. At that moment, the void shattered. The boundless formation-breaking shuttle, fairy-slaying sword and blazing solitude skeleton that were fighting against Ling Xiao's 3 extreme Tao Emperor weapons suddenly shone brightly. A powerful force was awakened from the 3 extreme Tao Emperor weapons, allowing them to break through the prison steel, chrono compass and heavenly punishment saber. Rumble! The boundless formation-breaking shuttle flew across the sky towards the sloppy Emperor and the Zhou Tian star formation that he had set up. A terrifying force exploded as though a great emperor had come back to life. Its aura was extremely terrifying. On the other hand, the fairy-slaying sword shone brightly. Rays of sword chi rose and gathered together before slashing down towards Ling Xiao. The last one, blazing solitude skeleton, emitted an ominous aura and demonic light. It pounced towards Jiang Yuyang like an ancient divine demon. "Oh no!" The sloppy Emperor and Ling Zhao's expressions changed. The three extreme Dao Emperor weapons suddenly exploded with such terrifying power. Perhaps the owners of the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons had taken action and secretly strengthened them, causing them to become extremely terrifying. They broke through the blockade of Ling Zhao's three extreme Dao Emperor weapons. The sloppy Emperor and Ling Zhao were extremely vigilant. They were secretly guarding against any sudden attacks. Kill! The five great Emperors were overjoyed. Killing intent rose in their eyes as they cooperated with the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons and charged towards Ling Zhao. Boom! The boundless formation-breaking shuttle was extremely strange. The timing of its attack was just right when the Zhou Tian star formation was about to be completed. It crashed down and pierced through layers of formations, colliding with the 10,000 demon banner. The sloppy Emperor's body trembled as he was sent flying. He spat out a mouthful of blood. At the same time, the massive heavenly cycle stellar array began to crumble. The sword chi that filled the sky fell towards Ling Zhao. Ling Zhao did not even have time to recall the prison steel, chrono compass and heavenly punishment saber before he was enveloped by the blazing immortal Dao sword chi. Even though Ling Zhao's body was extremely tough and indestructible, the sword chi was extremely strange and impossible to guard against. Even though most of them were destroyed by Ling Zhao, there were still a few dozen sword chi that landed on Ling Zhao's body, leaving behind deep gashes. Ling Zhao coughed up blood as he was sent flying by the five great Imperial Emperors' attacks. Not good. The sloppy Emperor's expression changed drastically. His eyes were filled with rage. Because, at this moment, Fengji's skeleton had already pressed down from the sky, directly smashing onto Jiang Yuyang's body. Roar! The sound of ghosts wailing and wolves howling erupted, and a terrifying demonic light rose. A black flame actually emerged from the Fengji skeleton and directly enveloped Jiang Yuyang, wanting to burn Jiang Yuyang into ashes. It was the Nether clan's nirvanic flames that came from the ninth hell, and it contained the quintessence of the netherworld. It was peerlessly terrifying and impossible to eliminate. Could it be that Jiang Yuyang was really going to fall here? The sloppy monarch and Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with deep worry. Rumble! After the limitless formation-breaking shuttle, immortal slaying sword, and Fengji skeleton unleashed their strongest attacks, they were quickly stopped by Ling Zhao's prison monument, chrono compass, and heavenly punishment saber. The six extreme Dao Emperor weapons resumed their confrontation. The owners of these three extreme Dao Emperor weapons should have been held back by Senior Kunwo. However, they suddenly awakened and caught him off guard. Could something have happened to Senior Kunwo? Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with worry. However, he did not have time to think too much. The five great Imperial Emperors charged forward once again. Each of them had a powerful aura as they unleashed their ultimate attacks on Ling Zhao. Ha! Ling Zhao, Jiang Yuyang is dead. I'll send you to accompany him. The Immortal Clan's Imperial Emperor laughed out loud, and his eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. Jiang Yuyang, who was being burned by the nirvanic flames and undergoing the inner demon tribulation, had no chance of surviving. In the eyes of the Immortal Clan's Imperial Emperor, he was already a dead man. Is that so? At this moment, a calm voice rang out in the void. The five great Imperial Emperors trembled as if they had thought of something. They suddenly turned to look at Jiang Yuyang as if they had seen a ghost. Rumble! The place where Jiang Yuyang was standing in the distance was originally enveloped by the nirvanic flames. The surroundings were filled with black fog, and it looked like Jiang Yuyang had died under the nirvanic skeleton's attack. However, at this moment, a blazing divine light shot up into the sky. Auspicious vapors rose and rays of light shone. It was as if an ancient and vast world had appeared. Jiang Yuyang's white robes fluttered in the wind as he slowly walked over. His eyes were bright and resplendent, and his entire body exuded an ethereal and otherworldly aura. It was as if an emperor had arrived. A vast and powerful emperor's aura filled the air, indicating that Jiang Yuyang was now an imperial emperor. Jiang Yuyang, you've finally broken through. I thought that you had been burned to death by the nirvanic flames. If you've really been burned to death, then you, as the human emperor of this era, are really aggrieved. The sloppy imperial emperor said excitedly, his eyes full of smiles. Although he was severely injured, his heart was at ease. Jiang Yuyang was not dead, and he had successfully broken through. At this moment, the 5 great imperial emperors' expressions were extremely ugly, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. The Nirvanic skeleton's all-out attack had even erupted with the Nirvanic flames. How could Jiang Yuyang still be alive? Jiang Yuyang, so what if you're not dead and have broken through to the Imperial Emperor realm? You've only just stepped into the first heaven of the Imperial Emperor realm. Since you're not dead, I'll kill you again. The Nether Race Imperial Emperor stared at Jiang Yuyang and said coldly. The 5 great Imperial Emperors sneered. Although Jiang Yuyang had successfully broken through, they had nothing to fear in their hearts. The so-called human emperor's great Tao cultivator, Jiang Yuyang, was only at the first heaven of the Imperial Emperor realm. However, when they saw Jiang Yuyang's calm and indifferent expression, they suddenly had a bad feeling in their hearts. The ignorant are truly fearless. You came to stop me from transcending the Imperial Emperor tribulation, but you don't know why you have to kill me when I'm transcending the Imperial Emperor tribulation? Jiang Yuyang smiled indifferently, and then took a step towards the 5 great Imperial Emperors. Boom! He took a step forward, and it was as if he was stepping on the center of heaven and earth. It was as if the heavenly drum was beating, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. The aura around Jiang Yuyang's body instantly began to soar. It actually soared from the first heaven of the Imperial Emperor realm to the second heaven of the Imperial Emperor realm. What? The 5 great Imperial Emperors trembled violently, and their eyes were filled with shock. That's because after I become an Imperial Emperor, you won't have any chance. Jiang Yuyang sighed softly, and his voice entered everyone's ears clearly. Bang, bang, bang. Jiang Yuyang walked forward step by step, and the aura around him began to soar crazily like a tsunami. With each step he took, it was as if some kind of sealed power had been unlocked, causing his entire being to become as majestic and vast as a mountain. 9 steps. 9th heaven of the Imperial Emperor realm. Chapter 2888. Rumble. Jiang Yuyang's white clothes were purer than snow, and he looked heroic and imposing. His entire body was filled with explosive power, as if he could push open the sky and destroy the starry sky. He became the focus of the world's attention. His body emitted a vast heavenly might, like an ancient emperor who could push the sun, moon, and stars. He had a peerless aura that suppressed the heavens and swept through the world. How is this possible? The eyes of the 5 imperial emperors were filled with shock and despair. The terrifying aura emitted by Jiang Yuyang made them tremble involuntarily. Their hearts palpitated, and they couldn't help but want to kneel down. Jiang Yuyang was already a 9th-level imperial monarch now. The 5 imperial emperors couldn't believe it. Jiang Yuyang had just passed the imperial emperor tribulation, so how could he be so terrifying and powerful? Senior Jiang Yuyang, is this the cultivation of 9 lifetimes of reincarnation? No wonder even Senior Kunwo attached so much importance to Senior Jiang Yuyang's imperial emperor tribulation. The human emperor's great Tao is indeed heaven-defying. Ling Xiao exclaimed in his heart. He was able to sense that Jiang Yuyang's entire body was suffused with a mysterious aura of samsara. It seemed like some sort of seal within Jiang Yuyang's body had been opened, causing Jiang Yuyang's cultivation to rise explosively. Every single step he took caused Jiang Yuyang's cultivation to directly rise to the 9th level of the Imperial Monarch realm. The 9th level of the Imperial Emperor realm was already the peak of the Imperial Emperor realm. It was only a step away from the true Supreme Emperor. Ling Xiao recalled that the Imperial Emperor of Kunwo Mountain had said that Jiang Yuyang cultivated the human emperor's great Tao and reincarnated 9 lifetimes. Therefore, he guessed that perhaps after 9 lifetimes of reincarnation, Jiang Yuyang was able to break through to such a realm in one go. The human emperor's great Tao is completed. The sloppy Imperial Emperor's eyes were also surging with excitement. At this moment, Jiang Yuyang's body was surrounded by thousands of rays of light and auspicious qi. A vast and ancient world seemed to have appeared in the chaotic light. Countless powerful figures appeared, like the imprints left behind by many human experts, and they were worshipping Jiang Yuyang. The sloppy Imperial Emperor knew Jiang Yuyang very well, so he naturally knew what had happened to Jiang Yuyang. The human emperor's great Tao was completed after 9 lifetimes. However, the sloppy monarch's eyes revealed a trace of pity as he sighed inwardly. He knew better than anyone that Jiang Yuyang's original strength was not limited to this. Originally, Jiang Yuyang had a chance to directly break through to the Emperor realm. However, now that the Great Tribulation had descended, the human race's providence had been greatly weakened. Jiang Yuyang no longer had a chance to break through. All of you are abandoned pawns. For the sake of probing me, you actually mobilized so many Imperial Monarch experts in one go. It's truly my honor. But since you're here, leave your lives behind. Jiang Yuyang said faintly. His voice was like a thunderclap that exploded in the void. Not good, Run. The expressions of the 5 Imperial Emperors changed drastically. They shouted and teleported into the distance. Even though they were Imperial Monarch realm experts, most of them were at the 2nd or 3rd level of the Imperial Monarch realm, so how could they be a match for Jiang Yuyang? Without the slightest hesitation, they turned around and fled. They only wanted to preserve their lives. Boom! Jiang Yuyang took a step forward. A dazzling divine rainbow flickered under his feet like a rainbow bridge that instantly traversed the void. He appeared behind the zombie race Imperial Monarch and slapped down with a seemingly light palm. Roar! The zombie race Imperial Monarch's expression changed drastically. His eyes revealed a crazy killing intent. In an instant, he revealed his green face and fangs. The terrifying origin energy in his body surged as he pushed out his palms. He felt a fatal threat from Jiang Yuyang's palm. It made his scalp tingle and his entire body tremble. Bang! The void trembled as a muffled sound was heard. It was as if there were mysterious waves rippling out. The zombie race Imperial Monarch's body shook violently as his arm shattered. Starting from his arm, his physical body and primordial spirit exploded into a bloody mist. The indestructible primordial spirit did not even have time to escape before it exploded together with his physical body. The zombie race Imperial Monarch had fallen. Jiang Yuyang casually waved his hand, and the zombie race Imperial Monarch's flesh and primordial spirit instantly condensed into a black pearl in his palm. It emitted a vast and majestic origin energy. Jiang Yuyang's expression was indifferent and calm. After killing the zombie race Imperial Monarch cleanly, he charged towards the 2 Imperial Monarchs who had besieged the sloppy Imperial Monarch. Jiang Yuyang, who was at the 9th level of the Imperial Monarch realm, displayed an incomparably terrifying strength that made Ling Xiao secretly click his tongue. The 2 Imperial Monarchs hastily blocked Jiang Yuyang's attack, but they were also instantly killed by Jiang Yuyang. Their flesh and primordial spirit turned into 2 pearls and landed in Jiang Yuyang's palm. Seeing Jiang Yuyang kill 3 Imperial Monarchs so easily, the Immortal Race Imperial Monarch and the Nether Race Imperial Monarch were even more frightened. Their expressions were extremely ugly, and their eyes were filled with fear. They desperately wanted to escape. Jiang Yuyang's speed was extremely fast. It was as if he could teleport. With a single step, he caught up with the Nether Race Imperial Monarch. He pointed his finger in the air and directly landed on the Nether Race Imperial Monarch's forehead. A terrifying power surged in, destroying the indestructible primordial spirit of the Nether Race's Imperial Emperor. The Nether Race's Imperial Emperor was also blasted into a mist of blood, which turned into a bead and was taken away by Jiang Yuyang. In the end, only the Immortal Race Imperial Monarch was left. The Immortal Race Imperial Monarch was the strongest among them. Previously, he was also the one who posed a huge threat to Ling Xiao and caused Ling Xiao to suffer heavy injuries. At this moment, he had already escaped very far away. Unfortunately, he had already been locked onto by Jiang Yuyang. Jiang Yuyang, the human race has already become the enemy of the entire world. If you dare to kill me, you will become the enemy of the immortal race. When the great emperor of the immortal race descends, the human race will be completely annihilated. You have to think about the consequences. The immortal race imperial monarch sensed that Jiang Yuyang had killed the other 4 imperial monarchs and was charging towards him. His expression changed drastically as he spoke in a fierce manner. Immortal race? The immortal race is just a bunch of rats who only know how to hide in the dark. If you want to annihilate the human race, we'll have to see if you have the ability to do so. Jiang Yuyang said indifferently. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. Without hesitation, he slammed his palm towards the immortal race imperial monarch. Rumble. This palm was extremely fierce. Vast Emperor's aura erupted. It was as if the palm had crossed 3,000 worlds, causing the vast starry sky to shake. A few stars that were enveloped by Jiang Yuyang's palm even exploded into dust. The immortal race imperial monarch had no room to dodge at all. Chapter 2889. Ancestor, save me. The immortal clan's emperor suddenly raised his head and roared at the endless void. His eyes were filled with fear and panic. Clang. At the same time, the celestial slaying sword in the void suddenly released a dazzling light. The immortal light was dazzling and the sword chi swept across the void as if it had been completely revived. It let out a clang. The celestial slaying sword released a peerless sword essence and instantly turned into a bright light that slashed down at Jiang Yuyang. The sword swept across the void with unparalleled sharpness as if it could pierce through the past and the future. It wanted to kill Jiang Yuyang directly under the sword. Get lost. Jiang Yuyang's eyes flickered with sharpness. His voice was like thunder as he suddenly roared. Rumble. A terrifying sound wave burst out like a vast sea. It directly enveloped the sword chi that filled the sky and collided with the celestial slaying sword. The celestial slaying sword trembled violently as endless immortal light bloomed. An old man with white hair and a beard appeared vaguely. He looked like an immortal. However, the old man's face was cold and his eyes were filled with coldness. He stared at Jiang Yuyang and said, "If you dare to kill Qingfeng, I will kill 10 of your celestial race emperors." Jiang Yuyang's eyes flashed with a cold light as killing intent surged in an instant. He shouted coldly, "Old dog, wash your neck and wait for me to kill you." After saying that, Jiang Yuyang punched out, and the sword chi that filled the sky exploded. The old man's figure was also directly shattered. Jiang Yuyang did not hesitate at all. He directly punched down and killed the celestial race emperor. His flesh and primordial spirit also turned into a dazzling pearl. At this point, the 5 celestial race emperors were all killed by Jiang Yuyang. Rumble. Although they were in the starry sky outside the realm, the death of the 5 celestial race emperors still caused the surrounding starry sky to shake. The stars flickered and the laws of the great Tao became a little chaotic, revealing an incomparably mysterious scene. Is this the combat strength of a peerless celestial race emperor? How strong is a real great emperor? Ling Zhao's eyes were extremely bright. Looking at Jiang Yuyang's figure, a strong desire welled up in his heart. When the 5 emperor lords joined forces, they put a lot of pressure on Ling Zhao. They even put Ling Zhao at a disadvantage. It was not easy for Ling Zhao to kill a demon emperor. But now, none of the 5 great imperial emperors were a match for Jiang Yuyang. Watching Jiang Yuyang kill the 5 great imperial emperors consecutively and display unparalleled combat strength made Ling Zhao yearn for it. Jiang Yuyang soared through the sky and landed before Ling Zhao and the sloppy emperor. "Brother sloppy, little friend Ling Zhao, I'll have to trouble the 2 of you to protect me this time." Jiang Yuyang said solemnly, "There's no need to stand on ceremony between us. Your great path of the human sovereign has achieved great success. The human clan has another pillar of support. Congratulations." The sloppy imperial lord sighed softly. "That's right. Senior Jiang Yuyang, being able to witness your imperial lord tribulation is a great gain for me. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Jiang Yuyang opened his palm and 5 resplendent beads of different colors appeared. They all shone with a dazzling light, exuding a vast amount of origin energy. They were even more resplendent than the sun in the distance. These are the primordial spirit flesh essence of the 5 great imperial emperors. I'll give them to you. I hope you can break through to the imperial lord realm as soon as possible. Jiang Yuyang smiled and passed the 5 beads to Ling Xiao. He could see that Ling Xiao was at the end of his rope. He was severely injured. Moreover, activating 3 extreme emperor weapons at the same time and fighting against 5 great imperial emperors consumed a lot of Ling Xiao's energy. The vast energy contained in the 5 beads could not only heal Ling Xiao's injuries, but it could also improve his cultivation. Thank you, Senior. Ling Xiao knew that Jiang Yuyang meant well and did not decline. He accepted the beads with a smile. The foreign clans from the outer region are not giving up on the realm of the gods. Since they dare to come, let's take this opportunity to severely injure them. Return to the realm of the gods first. I'll cooperate with Lord Kunwu to kill a few great imperial emperors. Jiang Yuyang said to the sloppy emperor lord and Ling Xiao. Then, he traversed the void and flew into the distance. In the void, Ling Xiao had already retrieved his 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons. As for the Wuji formation-breaking shuttle, the Immortal Extermination Sword and the Burning Solitude Skeleton, after Jiang Yuyang killed the Immortal Race Emperor, they seemed to be extremely intelligent as they broke through the void and left. Jiang Yuyang had followed the auras of the 3 extreme Dao Monarch armaments. Senior Jiang Yuyang successfully passed the Emperor Tribulation and broke through to the 9th heaven of the Emperor realm. He even killed 9 great imperial emperors in this battle. I'm afraid the foreign clans will not be too arrogant and unscrupulous from now on. Ling Xiao said slowly as he looked at Jiang Yuyang's back. This battle will definitely shock the entire universe. Imperial emperors are not cabbages. Even the powerful demon race and celestial race will feel the pinch. This is a good thing. We can deter them and buy more time for the human race. The sloppy emperor lord said in a carefree manner. After this battle, he finally felt proud and elated. The humiliation that the human clan had suffered in the outer space battlefield for so many years was swept away with this battle. Jiang Yuyang had become a supreme emperor and the human emperor's great Dao. In the future, the emperor lords of Kunwu Mountain could also breathe a sigh of relief. Ling Xiao and the sloppy emperor lord returned to the divine world. The sloppy emperor lord was also severely injured in this battle. He had used a forbidden technique to forcefully recover his peak cultivation. Now that the battle was over, he heaved a sigh of relief. However, his Dao injuries were also extremely serious. He politely rejected Ling Xiao's kind intentions of giving him a few pearls. Instead, he left the War God Hall to find a place to recuperate. Ling Xiao returned to the War God Hall. Seeing that he was severely injured, Jin Sei and Shui Wei were extremely worried. Ling Xiao comforted them and then chose to go into seclusion to recuperate. Buzz. 10,000 Demon Banner, Heaven's Might Prison Steel, Time Compass and Heavenly Punishment Saber. These 4 extreme Dao Emperor weapons floated in front of Ling Xiao. They were enshrouded in radiance and mysterious emperors might float around them. These were the 4 extreme Dao Emperor weapons that Ling Xiao had completely refined. With my current cultivation, using 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons at the same time is really overestimating myself. Perhaps I can only use a few extreme Dao Emperor weapons at the same time after I break through to the Imperial Emperor realm. Fortunately, I have the 5 pearls that Senior Jiang Yuyang gave me. Otherwise, I'm afraid that I won't be able to fully recover in a short period of time. Ling Xiao sighed softly and muttered to himself. He had killed the 3 demon lords, Sun, Moon and Star, and slaughtered the demon race's imperial emperors. He had devoured the flesh, blood and primordial spirits of the 4 great emperors. However, he was only able to support 3 extreme Dao Emperor weapons for such a long time. Moreover, he was severely injured and was in a huge deficit. The energy of the 4 great emperors' flesh, blood and primordial spirits was completely depleted. This showed how terrifying the extreme Dao Emperor weapons were. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.